Alright, let's see how that sounds. Alright, let's see how that sounds. Looks good. How we all doing? Well, I shouldn't say what I have. For now, overall tournament, Challengers of the Grail 8. It's the ODM Land Battle Tournament Series. They didn't have a host today, so we just popped in. We're going to do that. I was going to stream my Faction War Round 1 today, but with this going on, I didn't really want to interfere with it. And then by the time it was done, I have to go pick up Grace from the airport, so we'll do the Faction War Round 1 stream tomorrow. That should be fine. And yeah, so today we'll just play in this tournament, cast it quick, get some more spotlight on the land battle activity that is going on around here. So today's tournament, who dares message? The fuck? Oh, it's Handedon's helping out. All right, I'll be less shitty. Looking at today's peoples, got to do our usual pick two favorites and a dark horse. Trigger, Race, Strat Game, Cherub, Bird, Guillaume, Raylan, Cal Harmon. Cal Harmon, I don't know how much he's been playing, so I'm going to bet against him today. I'm going to say tournament favorites will probably be Strat Game and me. And then Dark Horse, Dr. Jellyfish. I think Dr. Jellyfish or I have a pretty good shot of going far in this tournament, but we got each other round one, which sucks and blows. So we'll see. But yeah, they're doing a new pick and band where you do all the picks and bands before the first game. It's kind of interesting. I don't know how I feel about it. What up, Bird? Caradoc, how you guys doing? How's it going? It's going all right. It's going pretty good. So let's go find Dr. J. What the hell are the maps? I can beat either of you. You can't. Well, yeah, a lot of players can do stuff. You got to make predictions, you know. It's him, human bridegroom. I did in fact get engaged. You're right. You always go against the fave guys in the first round. Not fair. Yeah. That's okay. I would just get to cast more games. Got qualified, can rust today. Oh, in what? The Warhammer World Cup? Thanks, AS. Bird, you should probably eat something. Yeah, I would agree. I would agree. Eating stuff is good. Okay, so what are the maps? Gorgazon, Eshin, and Valley of Thieves. Icky. And I have to pick first, and I have to pick third, because we do all the picks of bands right away, so it doesn't actually matter who wins game 2. Game 3, I just have to pick 3, band 1. Okay. Pick 1, band 3. Then Jelly does. There's no global bands today. Oh, lordy. Okay, I'll think on that. I mean, I want to play my Skaven, because I always do, and it's tradition. But the smart thing to do would be the pick one would be vampire counts. I'll pick my Skaven, fuck it. I do what I want. Pick Skaven. What do I want to ban out of the entire universe? Oh. VC just feel too strong. I have a lot of builds that are good against vampire counts, like traditionally. but they haven't worked in game 3 at all just because vampire counts are just overtuned. Like all of their units are too hard to kill. They all do too much damage, so you just get like, even if you play better, you just lose, so it feels bad. So I'll ban VC. Zinch. Yeah, do I care? Nah, fuck it. He can play Zinch if he wants. Or is it Chaos and Slanesh? Sure. By the way, you look through replays from Russian Championship. I have plenty more if you're interested. Thanks. I did, I cast another best of 5 you sent me, Caradoc. You're the cause of no global bans. Like down with the Sickness Doom Sage? I can probably arrange that, yeah. Zombies are totally balanced. For me, it's Crypt Horrors. Like, that matchup was already rough for Skaven, but it was playable in Warhammer 2. And then now it's like, Crumbling matters less than usual. Crypt Horrors are stronger. Vargheists are stronger. Dragon Lords are stronger. So it's just like, all this stuff got stronger, and Skaven were already losing that matchup. It's really rough. And the Crypt Horrors being stronger is the real problem. Because the last 2 times I played that with Void, his Crypt Horrors like fucking heal capped, and they still had 15 or 16 of their models, and they just fought to the very end. And it's like, I can't grind through 1.5 or 2 times your army's health. That's just not gonna happen. Game 1 is going to be Skaven versus Demons of Chaos, apparently. And the tournament format is we do all of our picks and bans right away. So, we're just going through that. Ooh, ah. And then his round 2, he picks Skaven, bans VC, Warriors of Chaos, and Slanesh. Okay, so we both are first picking Skaven. Both banning the same things. What do I want to fight Skaven with? What do I want to fight Skaven with? What do I want to fight Skaven with? That is a good question. Oh, what to fight Skavinos with? Norska. Yeah, Norska's pretty good there. Bretonnia? Bretonnia's real bad versus Skaven. Beastmen? Beastman's good. Beastman's good. I'm feeling Norska, though. Alright. Hold on. Alright, Beastmen it is. I switched it. We'll go Beastmen. We'll go Beastmen. It's a good pick too. I am tryharding today, but I was flip-flopping between Dark Elves, Beastmen, and Norska, so that's still like a really solid pick. So I'll oblige you that. But if you were like, I mean, like AS did say play Bretonnia, and I just said no, because it's a real bad matchup for Bretonnia. And then in his last thing, he picks Grand Cathay, Dark Elves, and Vampire Counts, ban Tomb Kings. Grand Cathay, Dark Elves, and Vampire Counts. That sucks and blows. Grand Cathay, Dark Elves, and Vampire Counts. I could just play Cathay. Grand Cathay ban. Grand Cathay. Sure. Brett ban Grand Cathay. I don't know if Brett versus VC is very good. Blood Penguin, who is a much better Bretonnian player than me, lost that matchup on stream the other day, and he played his ass off. Did I save my Cathay build? No. Shit. I'll have to remember it if he brings VC. This tea is delicious. Blood Penguin is a meh Bretonnia player in your opinion? One of the best that's just not saying much. He's meh. He's one of the best, but that's not saying much. That's pretty funny. Yeah, Cathay, yeah, but without global bans, this is kind of what you get. Like, I'm surprised we both went... I went for Skaven because they're my favorite. I'm surprised Jellyfish went for Skaven. But with no global bans and CA didn't significantly nerf anything, you're going to see a lot of all three undead factions. You're going to see a lot of the Chaos factions, and you're going to see Dark Elves. And that's just the meta. All right, last game is Grand Cathay versus VC. That's fine. So, first round is Skaven versus something. I honestly already forgot. Demons of Chaos. Oh, okay. Skaven versus Demons of Chaos. I can fuck with that. Demons of Chaos. El Demonos. How do I want to handle this? They don't have Hellstriders. They're probably going to bring Blue Fire. Yeah, they're probably going to bring Blue Fire. But I don't really have a Blue Fire resistant Lord. Who is Queek against the splash art? It's Artorias from Dark Souls. He's my favorite character in Dark Souls. Love Artorias. Alright, so Flensing Ruin got nerfed. Globes got nerfed. Something else got nerfed, but I'm forgetting it. That's a pain in the dick for how I wanted to play this. Because I just don't want to get Blue Fire spammed. They held off a 3 times larger Bretonnian force forever. Good. Oh, boy. Torok's favorite Ornstein. Ornstein sucks! Ornstein is a piece of shit. No, he's not. He's not. That's a joke. But still! How dare you, sir? How dare you? I really like Artorias. I think his story is super cool. Oh, when you're worried about just getting blue fired in the mouth, it's a tough time to be alive. Okay, we'll do that. Do that. Beamers of Chaos. Archeon goes into a BMW dealership and bullies 35 leased M6 sedans out of them. Alright, let's do some of these. I'm not showing my build because I just, I want to try hard today. And not that Dr. Jellyfish would stream snipe, but I've talked about it before. Like, maybe he does stream snipe, right? Maybe he does. I don't think he does, but maybe he does. Even if he doesn't, I am a well-known salty spittoon. And when I lose, I just don't like to have the fallback of like, that build was coincidentally awful counteractive to what I brought. It's like, if I use a blocker, it's just like, all right, I know I lost fair and square. It's over. It's just to counter. It's to counter my own saltiness. Oh, I don't know if you're a good choice versus what we're probably gonna face. Yeah. Yeah, probably not. Does Eshin Shuriken spell pretty accurate? Maybe you can poke the Zinchcaster. It is pretty accurate. It is pretty accurate. I'll give you that. How expensive is he? Because the the problem that's not going to work is because Zinch has shields. Yeah. So the barrier, I'm just going to cast it. His barrier's going to soak it, and then he's going to recharge his barrier while it's on cooldown, and he's going to. Yeah. It's a good idea. That's something I used to do versus vampire counts, but ultra unit size really hurt that spell, and the abundance of healing really hurt that spell. I mean, I could get that. Get some slaves. I kind of want at least one of these. Yeah, and then I get a slave, it's fine. Ooh, or I could just get clan rats. Yeah. Let's see how that goes. I don't know about it, but we'll see. Or block auroras on the table. You can't cast blue 5 if you can't see them. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. I'm not super confident in it because Fleshhound spam just exists. Fleshhound and Fury spam. And then a Zinchcaster. The hard part for Demons of Chaos is always what their front line is going to be versus Skaven. But their carry potential is pretty obvious. Just Fleshhounds, Furies, Blue Firelord. I haven't seen Demons of Chaos for a long time. Yeah, they're worse at this matchup than a lot of other Chaos factions, but the Chaos matchups in general are so bad for Skaven that it's like, this one's even. It's even. I kind of wanted to take Gutter Runners, but I thought they would just get run down by Fleshhounds. Wow, 600 models. Okay, we're in for something. Maybe magic damage ignores shields. That would make sense. Yeah. It's not how it works, but it would be nice. So Slingers will do really well in this matchup. Not a lot of the demon units are shielded, and just they're also usually not heavily armored, so they're pretty good. It could Zap will follow whoever their caster is around and just make sure that they don't get to cast spells for free. And since their build is so small, I kind of want to spread them out. So I'm going to spread out my force a little bit. I don't want to stay too tight. And then let them, because whatever that is, it probably wants to blob. Probably. You know? So I need to just spread out and not really let that happen. These guys, I'll put them in the center of my formation and just run them to where they need to be, because I really don't want to Poisonwind Globe my Blightscab's Plague Pack. Rat Ogres along the back to hold off Fleshhounds. We have one dog unit to run around where needed and countercharge Furies. Other than that, we'll put Clan Rats in front of the globes. Put a spear up there for fun. And who's left? 2 more spears? Okay. But, yeah, I just need to see what we're dealing with. I have 1 assassin for the debuffs on the Lord in the inevitable end of game, probably Be'lakor cycle charging. At least I can throw Assassin's Trophy on him or something. We have a Grey Seer because he's the most resistant to blue fire spam. It doesn't feel great, but with Ikit used to take him because Cleansing Rune was busted. Like, it was busted. I am not at all upset that it got nerfed. It was a good nerf. But with Cleansing Rune nerfed, it's like, okay, well, you could take Ikit for his busted-ass spell and just accept he's snipeable. Now, it's not worth it to take him because he is snipeable by blue fire and his spell isn't that busted. But then it's like looking around, all of my characters that can heal are super weak to blue fire. Like Throt and a Packmaster and a Brood Horror, or like Warlord on a Brew Horror, any of that stuff will get like 2 or 3 shot by blue fires. Legit, I tried to play it versus Lenorm and he fucked me on that. So that's bad. And it's like, okay, so I can't heal through it because we're all weak to fire and that sort of stuff, low armor. Ikit's Doomwheel mount doesn't have enough health to tank it, so it's like you kind of have to go Grey Seer for his large health pool, his janky-ass hitbox, and his moderate spell resist. But it feels bad. Blue fire alone just makes the Skaven matchups shitty. Did he just quack as Human Boy Duck? I tend to do that. Alright, so we do have Be'lakor, Skull Cannon, and Infantry? Really? That's what we're doing? Okay. So Jelly's a good enough of a player that he's gonna dodge with Be'lakor a bunch. I'm gonna shoot the Fleshhounds, honestly. That's a Soul Grinder of Tzeentch. Oh, that's a pain in the ass. Okay. Don't really know what this is hoping to accomplish, but I'll let him do it. We missed. Dang it. Oh well. Can I get a twofer? I can try. How close do I need to be for that? Pretty close. Okay, so we got a twofer with the Warpstone Scroll. Let's get the dogs over here so they can countercharge the Furies when they inevitably land on my Warp Lightning Cannon. Alright, we just need to crumble them fast. And Tzeentch shields are very fun to play with, because as you can see, that guy's taking 0 damage. Alright, whole Fury's dead. Great. Dogs, separate out. Who else is in here? Rat Ogre, separate out. You, separate out. Let's get these all ready to go. I have Howling Warp Gale, but I'm just not going to bother. Oh, Be'lakor's landing? Okay. Assassin, leave that Soul Grinder alone. It's not worth your effort, honestly. Stop the dogs from doing any damage to you. You come here, you come here. I did want to Assassin's Trophy him, but I'm having a hard time really getting in there. So we're just going to leave it alone. I swore I gave you orders to bail out my assassin. I guess we'll all just be dumb today. Blight Scabs, Rat Ogres, Rat Ogres. There's a rather annoying Pit of Shades. I'll try to walk away from that, but we'll see. Warp Lightning Cannon has been annoyed to death. Okay, Assassin did get fucked up by those flesh hounds, hoping that my globes wouldn't lose their attack orders, but of course they did, because they're globes in Warhammer 3, so they lost their attack orders. Be'lakor is kicking my ass over here. So let's move over here. Lock him in place, also give the global debuff. Debuff being the melee attack and leadership to get some stuff to crumble faster. Assassin's gonna be alright, so at least he can later in life give me some debuffs onto Be'lakor. Still shooting the Soul Grinder, so doing okay there. Lord is getting sniped. So, usual Lord snipe things. You're back. Can you do this? Try to get in range. I'm gonna throw out a Warp Lightning somewhere. Just to get that cannon crumbling. No, it's gonna crumble on its own. So we've taken out the Skull Cannon. We've tried to take out Be'lakor. Soul Grinder Zinch is still taking a bunch of damage. Be'lakor's debuffed. He's trying to take off. Keep him on the ground. Keep him fighting those Rat Ogres. More just to stop him from doing anything interesting. And keep him here. Oh, I got lured out while I wasn't looking. That's a shame. Globes, come home. Assassin and Greyseer dodge. Ikit Zap Zap is still firing. One of you go after that Soul Grinder just to annoy it. You turn around and fire. You come here. Are dogs dead forever? It looks like our dogs are dead forever. Dodge the Sword of Corn. Mostly dodged it. Nice. Most important thing now is to keep Be'lakor on the ground. Be alright as long as we can keep him on the ground. I don't know what the fuck these guys are doing. I don't honestly remember what I ordered them to do, but I'm pretty sure they're not doing it. Pink Horrors are gonna shoot that. That's okay. If we can Lord Snipe out Be'lakor, we'll be alright. Get around him. Get around him. Get around him. Get around him. There you go. Get Blight Scabs in there. Watch out for a Pit of Shades. I'm not even paying attention to the rest of the map. That's how little it matters. So you guys walk after them. Those globes are dead as fuck. That's fine. There's a Pit of Shades. I don't know where Blight Scabs is in there, but they're not having a good time with it. I'm gonna get in range with the Greyseer so I can offer his leadership support. Throw this down again, just to make sure Be'lakor stays in there, because he's trying to get out. You guys get on this side, make sure he stays in. Alright, globes move up. Slingers, go fight that. These slingers took care of Nurglings. These slingers are going to go shoot that. Those globes are going to go shoot Plague Bears. These globes are going to go shoot Nurglings, and that's all fine. Now the fight we care about. How did you rampage? Oh, it's Fascination. Fuck you. Okay, Assassin. He needs Assassin's Trophy on him right now. Greyseer's back. Run! Nah, just stay off. We just need you as a debuff. Lock him in place again in case he thinks about leaving. Meanwhile, we're killing the rest of the map. You guys are still running after Pink Horrors. Roundovers are back. We've almost killed Be'lakor, but he's been in there for 45 years and he's not dying because reasons. Roundovers are terror routing, but Be'lakor is almost dead. Oh my god. He got the Rampage spell, the Sword of Corn, and he got the Net. That is just the perfect spell kit for Be'lakor, not Be'lakor, the Demons of Chaos to get. Jesus Christ. You guys all come back. Net. And then without Be'lakor, we're gonna be fine. There, he's gone. Alright, without him, we can win. Greyseer's just gonna chill super far away, so I don't lose my Lord. The rest of you are grinding on stuff, and it's honest. It's legitimately 2 pink horrors versus everything else. So Grace here, just go to the corner. Assassin, go to the corner. And the rest of you walk at the pink horrors. Just walk at him. Walk at him! Go! Kill! But that's GG. Oh, I don't believe it. Engaged in playing video games? Yeah, I am pretty trash. Just throwing that out for the global debuff to melee attack and leadership. Trying to get these guys to crumble faster to get trigger army losses. There we go. We did it. Is Assassin's Trophy limited charge? You can use it over and over. You can use it forever. He's doing Husm stuff like cleaning gutters, not playing with gutter runners. How's my favorite rad human doing today? Hope you are good. I am good. I am good. Rat dog, trying to remember the cat dog theme. It wasn't mentioned that Blue Fire got nerfed? Oh, what did the nerf happen? And Lil Tro, I'm doing good. The Zinj faction is an OP? I would agree. Yeah, I don't think Zinj is OP. I think they're at like the highest level. Soul Grinders are really, really strong. Shield Abuse is really strong. Blue Fire is really strong. But like outside of the highest tier of play, I actually think Zinj is rather weak. Because what makes them strong is such like a difficult style to play. So good. Zap did great. Grayseer did awesome. Rat Ogre's hard carried, just trying to kill Be'lakor. Slingers all paid for themselves. So they're good. Be'lakor 3,000 value. Skull Cannon and the Soul Grinder did all right, but didn't quite pay for themselves. But kidding aside from, I'm glad you're back. Teehee. Wonder why Jellyfish waited so long with the infantry. You wanted to Soul Grinder and Skull Cannon kite me, but it just didn't work. Eshin for Beastmen versus Skaven. Ew, it's kind of a tough one. That's a toughie. Blue Fire nerfed, even when Sia does something correctly, I failed to communicate it. Didn't hear what you said about replays. I'm good for now. I have content planned out until December 10th. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, I cast some of the replays you sent me. They're in the schedule to be uploaded. Alright, Skaven versus Beastmen. I'm pretty sure slingers could gently place their ammo on the ground and still pay for themselves. They're not exactly picking. Yeah, that's why. I mean, that's why they're good. Take some slingers. They just trade up, which is nice. All right, what are we doing here? YXZ. Hi, Jim Bailey. What do we want? What do we want for our best men? The bestie boys. Sorry. I'm doing things. $600 gold left. That is an awkward amount. That is an awkward amount. Guess I'll get these guys. Seems fine. Oh, 0 gold spend! Oh, wow! Ooh, the Jagged Horde Triumph is cool. Okay, we'll go Jagged Horde. We buff Soul Dancer, War Dancers. Yeah. Cyrus, this is round 1, yeah. The patch notes was pretty disappointing. I know, like, Lore Master of Sotek, he seemed positive on it. I honestly didn't watch the whole video. I kind of skimmed through it, and the title made it seem like he was positive on the change. Turin was positive on the change, but aside from that, I haven't heard anybody be positive on the patch. Where, like, in a vacuum, the patch changes were good. Sure, they were. I don't really disagree with anything they did. The reason I'm upset about it is how little they did, right? Where it's like, okay, I mean, yeah. It's, you know, like, if there's a fire and you need to put it out and someone takes, like, a cup of water and puts it on the fire, it's like, yeah, that's the right idea, but we're gonna need a lot more of that. And so that's why I was pretty negative on it. Net change was positive, but not enough change. All right. So, took Torox the Brass Bull. He used to be good in this matchup. We'll see if he still is. Also, we had Torox in the chat, so I took his favorite lord just to be a friendly chap. What's next? A buff to Wild Rangers. Yeah. I took very little infantry because the Skaven don't give a shit about Beastmen infantry. I don't say I blame them. Their globes are extremely effective against infantry, and in general, they'll be fine. What they don't like is the monstrous infantry of the best men. So we are going to take some Chaos Spawn and Minotaurs. Minotaurs are really good for blitzing through stuff, and Chaos Spawn are good for just being sticky and annoying. We also have some Tuskor Chariots. That will be good. Yeah, that'll be good. Not all infantry needs to be tanky. True. Some Tuskor Chariots. We have some Centaurs. We have some Digodagos. Yeah. Then we have a caster with just Spirit Leech to be annoying, I guess. But, yeah. I'll Spirit Leech down their Lord over time. Other than that, this is going to be a probably quick game one way or another, so I didn't really want to fuck around. And Manticores are factually good here, but I, as a person, really struggle to get Manticores to do anything useful ever. So I didn't take the cast. I'm pretty sure he's going to be set up right here, so I'm setting up my front line to deal with that. And if he's going to be set up there, right, if he's set up right here, I don't want to approach on this side because the white line is right there, so if he shoots me while I walk up, I'm going to route and immediately go off the map. So I'd rather approach from this side where I have plenty of space to run away and rally. Torox, I took Torox just for you, buddy. I mean, he's also a good pick in this matchup, but left to my own devices, I might have just taken a Chariot Caster and gone wider. I don't know. I actually don't know what I would have done. I need to finish my control groups, don't I? Chariots, you, all of my monsters infantry, all of my infantry. He said ready, right? Okay, cool. Yeah, he set up about where we thought he would be. So we have Ikit with Flensing Ruin. Even though it's nerfed, it's probably still strong. I haven't actually tried it since it's nerfed. Then we have Globes, Slingers, Jezzails, Rat Ogres, and a front line of Clan Rat Spears. Okay, That sounds about right. So what we're going to want to do is get our infantry to break the charge defense of the spears. We're going to want to start spirit leeching Icket Claw. And we're going to run into Icket Claw. But and if the rat ogres stop my chariots, we'll countercharge them. Boop. Oh, Gisele's already sniped out my guy. Rat ogres, and then you guys go around back. Okay, we've penetrated their lines in some places, in other places they're holding. Now the flanks are going to have to get active. Cleansing Ruins, we're going to pop Brass Body to withstand it. The caster is officially dead. Dogs are doing their best to work through this stuff. Centaurs are pushing up. We're gonna loop up through here. Torox is still on top of Icket. And Spawn are still fighting. But it's looking pretty doomed. It's looking pretty doomed. Man, Torox is missing a lot. He has not hit Icket at all. Spawn are still fighting that. You're still fighting that. Gotta get these guys away. These chariots are spread all over the place. Go get him. Go get Icket. Radogre's chasing my Centaurs all the way out there. Now this could be a moment to get back into the game if we can snipe out Icket, which we are currently doing a pretty good job of. Could rout the rest of them. Because Minotars are beating the brakes off of him. They let him get out though. That's gonna be annoying. Torox, just follow him through. Spawn are still fighting, doing spawn things. Chariots are still stopping most of their ranged assets from doing very much. Cleansing Ruins coming down, so I gotta get out of here. How's Brass Body doing? Not good. Okay, so we're routing Icket. That's something. How did you get so far past Icket? Whatever. Chariots are doing their best. It's just a lot to shut down out here. The balance of power is very mad at me. Spawn are still fighting. I guess you guys have to take that charge. I'm super excited about it. Chariots are still running around. You almost have Brass Body again. You guys are still trying to kill Icket. You guys are chasing around nonsense, so come over here. Yep, army losses. Yeah, losing our caster right away was pretty brutal. Minotaurs did okay. They just couldn't get through the front line at all because those clown rats with spears, so they lasted for quite a while. Globes did alright. Giselles did alright. Ikit did fine. Rat Ogres did fine. This matchup feels tough. Torox did okay. He missed a lot of attacks. So probably cut Torox. He's 2,000 gold to do not a lot. And then cut my caster. Whoops, I just deleted something that wasn't my caster. Whatever. Oh, it's the destroyers. I'll figure that out later. Either go Malagor or probably Great Bray Shaman. Of any of the lores are fine versus Skaven, but like taking life as death as an example. Right. Without Torox and simplifying my caster down to that, I have 1,600 more gold, which I probably should have done. Probably. Unfortunate move. The brave men of the Under Empire. Are Hellputs any good into Beastmen? No. No. Archers, Centaurs are throwing X's. Torox can deal fire damage. Minotaurs got buffed, and now the great weapons are cheaper, and they have anti-large arm piercing. No. Hellputs aren't good. Doom and Darkness gaming? Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I was hoping to Spirit Leech down Ikit, but my caster got sniped right away. Valley of Thieves. He already switched over to Vampire counts. We have Cathay Vampire counts. Yeah. Nerf Cleansing Rune seemed fine. It didn't do crazy damage, though I did time my first brass body with it. That seemed fine. Tuskor Chariots did a lot of work. I wouldn't cut them. That's the hard part, is I liked a lot of the parts of my build. Spawn are good. Minotaurs proved to be pretty good, because one of them got fucked on, but the other one got to do a lot of work. Dogs did okay. Yeah, probably just cut Torox, get a Caster Lord, go cheaper, and then I could get more Minotaurs. Or even, like, I could get 2 Manticores for cutting Torox. Yeah, that's probably a better build. The build diff is unreal. Alright, let's do whatever we're supposed to be doing here. VC versus Cathay. I could fuck with that. I'm trying to remember my build that I really liked for this. Oh, is it really that simple? I guess. Yeah. That tracks. All right, let's go. It's time for Epic Vampire Count versus Cathay Gaming. Congratulations on your engagement. Thanks. How you doing, Strat? Hello, Nagetsku. I think I got your name right. I think. Strat, how's it going fighting Central Scroot? I took the blocker down. Yes, I did. All right. Game 3. We have a very fun Cathay Sky Blob to fight the very fun Vampire Counts. Hooray.
Order and balance.
If you aren't having fun, then too bad. Negetetsku. I can't do it. Enemies should be allowed to bring the max amount of balloons VC if nothing threatened them. If you ignore all of their flying units. I am bringing the Sky Junk. Homunculus Slad, nod. But we have a shit ton of longbows, so we'll be okay. I'm gonna turn your fire at will off so you don't waste a bunch of ammo. We have the cannon to fulfill the attacking role if I really need it. Whooshing War Compass Man to do whooshing War Compass plans, and then Meow Ying to complete the Sky Blob. So, this matchup isn't fun. It sucks. I know. But you gotta fight super overpowered VC somehow, and this is the how. We don't care about any of their infantry, so I have Peasant Long Spears. The Sky Junk plus Meow Ying's Talons of Night plus the Whooshing War Compass can take out infinite amounts of infantry, so don't really care. We don't really care. Hi, Chargs. We just care about keeping the Sky Junk safe, dominating the air, and then cycle charging from there. Cathay versus VC? Yeah, it's not fun, but his pick 3 was Cathay, VC, and Dark Elves, so I don't know what you want from me. Wish you better luck in the battle than pronouncing my name. Fair. So we have a cannon to pressure them in. They do have Vargeist, so I'm going to start softening up their aerial prowess now. It's the Blood Dragon Lord.
Ready to defend. Thoughts in harmony.
Cavalry.
For the defense. The storm wind blows.
Shenyan's faithful.
Yeah, you better leave.
March in ordered ranks. Shenyan sends us. Naturally.
What you doing here, Chief?
Stone and steel.
Move as wind. Strike them down.
It's a zombie summon. Okay. Sky Junk, move closer so we get harmony buffs, I guess. I'm gonna use Harmonic Convergence on this guy to slow him, because I knew the Sky Blob was coming, so I took Rolling Skies, so he has less melee defense and speed right now.
Dragon Guard. Defend the realm.
Let's just walk away from the zombies, I guess.
Move in formation. Bringing harmony.
Walk away, Sky Junk, I allow you to fire. You know, you can stay on the ground if you want. Seems fine.
Grand cannon. Guided by ancestors.
Why can't I click on my cannons? There we go.
Seeking Cathay spells. For the defense.
Okay. Longbows, let's go get involved.
Bringing harmony. For Cathay. Set by Gyra. Minds as one. Bringing harmony.
Okay. You, Harmonic Convergence something, just for the Rolling Skies passive.
Gyra's fury.
Damn it. Can't hit who I wanted to. You fired them.
Fury.
Use a bound spell over here. Righteous Lances of Wei Jin, come help me out.
For the Emperor. Bringing harmony. Sun Yang sends us.
How we doing? Bound Comet over there.
Roar of heavens.
Longma's trying to get back up into the sky.
For the Emperor. Celestial fury.
You almost have another harmonic. Boop.
Never
The cannons are back online, but we can't see very much, so let's just do this.
The storm unleashed.
Longmas are fighting.
The storm.
Let's get you back on the ground. Harmonic convergence, these almost dead ones.
the storm dragon.
Then we'll use Earthblood up here.
Power is
My ITP melee attack aura up here.
Stone and steel. Dragon. Protect us.
Wah.
My mind is ready. The heavens guide me.
Zombies are still beating up on my cannon, but I'm just honestly gonna take that at this point.
sent by Gairan.
Cavalry. March in ordered ranks. For the Emperor.
Yao Ying's out here doing Yao Ying things.
Behold, Azir's might. Move as the wind. For the moon dragon.
The storm wind blows.
Cavalry. The Emperor expects. Guided by ancestors. Marching as one.
Let's get out of here. Wujing War Compass is around. Bomb this pit, I guess.
The storm unleashed. Rooting out evil.
Sent by dragon. Dragon god.
I almost have another Earthblood. You're doing fine.
Grand cannon. The storm gathers.
The celestial faithful.
Cavalry.
Yang sends us.
Okay, we have a ton of Peasant Long Spears just chilling.
They will
Cannon's gone, so no need to defend it anymore.
Yang faithful. Repositioning.
Might of Gairan.
Heal that up a little bit.
Setting forth.
Wind
Are you being an idiot? Yeah, you're just out here being an idiot. There you go.
Order and
Less idiocy.
march in ordered ranks. Restore order.
Okay, Miao Ying almost has transform back up.
Gairan.
I stand ready. Celestial splendor.
Now I'll do that. You come back here, kick his ass.
Praise the dragon.
Will you shoot something when I tell you to shoot something? Fuck it, I'll do it. Okay.
Dragon God. Master of Tempest.
Meh.
Behold the Tempest. March for the Emperor.
Meh, 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 meh.
Cavalry. Minds as one.
Alright, we're doing our best. You're still not firing at anything, even when I tell you to.
Overwhelmed. Cavalry. Seeking Cathay's post.
Let's all get out of here.
Defenders of Cathay. March in order the ranks. Immediately. Sent by dragons.
Rooting out evil.
Bring in harmony.
The celestial
You guys come
daughters.
here. Get some healing.
Sen Yang, guide me.
Cavalry. Understood.
It must be done.
Zheng Yang is
How does it feel to just not shoot at anything I ever tell you to? Is it good?
unison.
Is it good? Do you love it?
Mistress of Storm.
I kind of want to use Wrath of the Storm before I have to transform. So Wrath of the Storm, transform.
Wind blows.
If it is required.
This guy, throw down Harmonic Convergence on somebody. Yao Ying, who still should have... Oh, she doesn't have Wrath of the Storm because she's a different entity.
The celestial
She's back in.
Harmonious rock.
You need to move closer over here to give us all Harmony bonus. Thank you. Gonna body this Blood Dragon Lord real quick.
Harmony. Minds.
Thanks for the Harmony bonus. You can go back to shooting the Sternsmen. And this time, I mean fucking shoot them! Don't just sit around!
Fire.
We're losing that fight.
Retreat! Withdraw!
Alright, Alongmas are having a bad time. That's a Wind of Death.
Spear!
Alright.
Mistress of storms! Sound the retreat!
Oh great, I'm caught on him and I can't move. Mark. Mark.
Move in formation.
Strike them down! March for the Emperor!
With infinite pride.
Age of the Celestial Court! Oh, Cathay! Sound the retreat! Ready to defend! Overwhelmed!
God damn, he's still alive. Also, this thing is just not obeying any commands ever.
Restore order! Remain steadfast!
Are they even attacking or what the fuck? How are they not doing any damage to this guy?
In the fray!
Oh, what? What am I in melee with? Why can't I attack?
Our ancestors!
Oh, he turned towards me? That's why? Okay. Like that, bitch.
Defend the realm!
Longmas, come home.
Formation!
You. Good luck killing the sky junk, my friend. Oh, no. No.
I hear the heaven! Overwhelmed!
Where are we at on the map? Okay, we're all over the place.
Celestial sorcerer! We obey!
Are you dead yet?
Order and the balance!
Jesus Christ, man.
Run! Run!
If I can get one more volley off him, I can maybe kill him. Nope, it ran away. Almost killed him. Blood Dragon Lord, 5,000 value. Vargeists got mostly killed in the sky blob. But the Blood Dragon Lord is too powerful, clearly. Longmas did alright. Can did alright. Skyjunk did alright. Peasant Spears just stood around. God, VC are such a fucking toxic faction, dude. I just hate them. I hate them, man. They heal capped like everything they had. And then they wouldn't crumble. This is, remember, this is post leadership nerfs, so they would supposedly crumble. God damn it, CA. You fucking suck at this. They're so horrible. They're so horrible. Alright, crumbling just kicks in earlier. If I was a skeleton full health, would I crumble? No, I meant the Lord. The Lord not crumbling at all. The Blood Dragon Lord. Because he was at 200 HP and getting shot by a thingy, and he was like, no, I'm good. I'm chilling. Necromancer heal capped, Sternsman heal capped, Blood Dragon heal capped, a lot of their zombies were heal capping, so it's just like, the same reasons VC have been overpowered since IE launched, they're still overpowered 3 patches later, and it's just like CA can't figure their shit out, and it's really annoying. No nergs to heck. Oh, no nerfs to heck, but Realm of Souls got dumpstered. My Tomb Kings didn't deserve this. I mean, Tomb Kings were really oppressive in domination mode. I think that's why they got focused down. Is boxing up a thing? Against certain factions, yeah. Skaven versus Beastmen match, how did it go? It went alright. It was close. Okay. In the interest of time, we're just gonna follow Dr. Jellyfish. It was a close series, and he is one of the tournament favorites, so I'm not that surprised that he won. But it was just annoying the way it went. Like, I felt like I surrounded his lord multiple times, and then the Longmas just didn't do jack shit. I'm waiting for them to open a lobby, so in the meantime, I'm just going to watch the replay and check out some things. Go, Guillaume, go. Guillaume's fighting Kel Harmon, so... yeah.
You will see your families again. This the Storm Dragon swears to you.
Blah, blah. Shooting things, shooting things. I'm gonna get a full surround on this guy. Doesn't look like they're getting any attacks off when they full surrounded him. And then he lands, which is fine. So I land with him, get a bunch of damage, start to walk away, leave Miao Ying on the ground so she can Talons of Night or Skyjunk bait these things. Skyjunk's under attack, Longmas are gonna dive in. Look at how fucking low this guy already gets, and he's still gonna be alive at the end of the game. This asshole starts shooting. Okay, good. He finally shoots something. And then I tell him to shoot these Vargeists. Does he ever shoot those Vargeists? Once. Twice. Alright, good. He's shooting. Good for him. 3 times. Nice. Good job, Skyjunk. Miao Ying's fighting for a bit. Blood Dragon Lord gets surrounded by Longmas, but he walks away in zombies. Skyjunk drops its attack orders. Yeah. It dropped its attack order, so it's not shooting this whole time. There, I manually fire it. It still dropped its attack orders. And this dude lands... It's in this fight that he just takes like 0 damage, and I get confused how that's going on. He only has 41 melee defense, and I did get a charge off on him, so his Helm of Discord is lowering me down to 17, but I did get a charge off. At this point, I'm manually firing the Skyjunk. It's just not shooting. It drops its attack orders every time I give it anything. Hazel's mad at something. Helm of Discord has worn off, and still this guy is just not taking any damage. While surrounded by shit, and then he starts to walk away. Okay, nothing interesting for a little bit. He fucks off. I get my Sky people together and heal them up. And then I dive him again, and again he gets surrounded. 3,600, and he's heal capped. There's no Helm of Discord this time. He's just surrounded and takes like 300 total damage. So that's kind of fucked. This thing's still not shooting at anything. And then Helm of Discord's off cooldown again? Really? That thing was just fucking used. 90-second cooldown, duration of 25. That's annoying. So Miao Ying's stats are nerfed. She's getting her ass kicked. because he has his 1k weapon strength. So she needs to run away. And the Longmas are stuck in a bunch of zombies. That's really annoying. She gets up in the sky, random wind of death. She's running around. Running around, surrounds him. There's no Helm of Discord this time. We're landing a couple attacks, but not a lot. And then Miao Ying dies. And this dude has 53 leadership at that low? What the fuck is that? Damage sustained 53? So he can never crumble based off of damage. He can just never crumble based off of damage. What the actual fuck? How am I supposed to get this guy? Damage sustained just jumps up to 78? What the fuck? What is that? He took 700 damage and his leadership penalty jumped up like 20 points. What's the calculation on leadership in this game? What the fuck is that? Why does it jump up 20 points at an arbitrary amount? Because like 700 damage sounds like a lot, so he realizes his HP pool is like 9,000. Why did that last 200 damage matter so much? God damn it. That's so fucked up. All right, we have a lobby. That is actually the stupidest shit. Okay, spectate, 1, 2, 3. But I'm gonna need to block her up first, in case they already have their builds. Boop. That's so stupid. For fuck's sake, CA. They even did the whole, you know, the only thing they nerfed about the VC was they lowered their leadership. And still, you can have positive leadership until you straight up die. God damn it! I'm so, dude, I'm so pissed. I am so pissed off. I mean, I would message the CA person that's like assigned to deal with content creators, but I just don't know what it's gonna matter. Cause like after last patch, they contacted a bunch of content creators saying like, hey, what you doing about balancing? We're really concerned about stuff. And I gave them a spreadsheet on what to do, and they just didn't do like any of it. So if they ask me and then they don't care what I say, I don't think they're gonna care what I say if I message them out of the blue and say, you fucked up! I'm just glad you're not kidnapped by Magnus anymore. Why am I kidnapped by Magnus? What? They're still doing the pick and bans. Did they nerf the Lord leadership? Also, hello, Human Boy in stream. What up, Bowman? How you doing? I don't think they did. Let me see. I'll pull up the patch notes right now. Sorry, I'm scrolling through the patch notes to answer a question Bowman asked me. Vampire Coast? That means the counts are next. Actually, you're right about that, Bowman. None of the lords got a leadership nerf. So yeah, the Blood Dragon's just as his leadership's the exact same as it was, which like you can never get him to start crumbling through damage alone. Try a slightly gentler tone, maybe. But like, Thomas, like, that's fine. But the problem with it is that they asked us what's wrong. We told them, and they didn't do any of it. And that was like nice. You know, like they asked me and I just said, oh, here's some things that probably need to be changed. And I gave the reasons why. And they didn't listen. So it's like I haven't messaged them in super anger or anything. So I don't know how a better tone's gonna help, because like I quote unquote tried that, you know. So it just sucks. And like I'm not gonna name and shame, but looking through the content creator Discord that we have with CA, where like you can talk to them and stuff, most of them are just sucking their dick. Like, you guys are doing so great. Oh, we love everything. Thanks for releasing Medieval 2 on mobile. That's super great. And I'm like, all right. And then like other content creators make videos about the patch that are positive, and it's just really annoying. I don't know. I feel like the community's disappointed. I feel like I'm disappointed. But I feel like content creators at large are saying the patch is good. And it's like, what? A what? Okay, so Bird just sent me the picks and bans. First is the Bretonnian Mirror. Second is Beastmen versus Skaven. Third is VC Mirror. So it's a Bretonnian Mirror, Beastmen versus Skaven, VC Mirror. Legend has been saying this for years. Yeah, I don't really watch Legend, so I don't know that stuff. But I do know he was upset with CA. I don't know. Like, I'm upset at CA, for sure, 100%. But I'm also a little upset at some of the content creators just not holding them accountable. I don't know. Bothers me. We are into game one. It's a Bretonnian Mirror, which is something. I haven't seen a Bretonnian Mirror in game 3, actually. Not at all. The Bretonnia changes were good. Good. The new charges feel nice. With Lance formation. CA should stop giving them early access and then find out what they really think. Brett Mirrors at Christmas. If anyone holds them accountable, they get blacklisted sooner rather than later. I don't know. This has been Soviet leadership feeling what's going on between CA and content creators. Yeah, I mean, I've spoken my mind pretty freely, and as long as I don't break, like, you know, embargoes, that, like, I'll give CA credit where it's due, right? I do try to be fair, and to be fair, they have never tried to stop me from saying anything, or if I said anything, they never got all butthurt about it or messaged me or anything, right? They're still in contact with me, but I also call them out when they fuck up, right? So the only thing they can't do is get early access and then be like, the next legendary lords are Valkia, Festus, Village, and, you know, Azazel. And here's where they start. Like, as long as they don't break the embargo, then they don't really seem to mind if I shit talk or something. I'm sure they would mind if I was being unfair or, like, targeting specific people. Like, Steve Smith at CA headquarters is a fucker. Here's his address. Go burn his house down. Yeah, they probably care. But, I don't know. Break embargoes, do it. That would be not wise. All right. Enough distracting. Armies are set up enough that I can start talking about them and they won't move too much under my mouse. We have a bunch of peasant mobs for Dr. Jellyfish, backed up by the new and improved Spearmen at Arms, cheaper than ever before. Men-arms, polearms on the back, 1 field trebuchet, and 2 peasant bowmen with pox arrows. He is using this little farmhouse as a bit of a defense for his box formation. We do have a life caster, Dwellers Below, and Earthblood. Cool, cool. Usual stuff. We do have King Lewin Leoncoeur in the sky from Dr. Jellyfish with the Sword of Corone, Stand Your Ground, and Foe Seeker. For his cavalry corps, we have Questing Knights, Grail Knights, and Knights of the Realm. So some anti-large, some armor-piercing, and some anti-large magic damage. On the other side, for Butcherbird / Crowfather, whatever you want to call them, we do have Mounted Yeomen, Grail Knights, Grail Knights, Grail Knights, and Mounted Yeomen. So 3 Grail Knights, 2 Mounted Yeomen. We have Fey Enchantress on her Unicorn, that one. Dwellers Below, Earthblood, Favor of the Fey, and Chalice of Potions. Then we have Gotrek on foot. Nice, anti-large, arm-piercing, magic damage, all of the good stuff. Battle Pilgrims is a secondary line, front line is Peasant Mobs, and then 4 Archers. 2 with Pox Arrows, 2 without. Ben Salt, true. I'm not afraid. My family is full of solicitors, not criminals. We got synergy. The Cav advantage, I think it's probably even split between 3 Grail Knights, but 2 Mounted Yeomen that are essentially worthless versus 4 real Cav, but 1 Grail Knight, 1 Questing Knight, 2 Knights of the Realm. The Questing Knights, I don't know how they're going to perform, because Grail Knights are really good stat balls, but Questing Knights do have armor piercing, so the anti-large is kind of... It's good, don't get me wrong, but when you're fighting 90 and 80 armor targets, I don't know how far the Questing Knights armor piercing is going to go. Dwellers in patch 2.3, did it get nerfed? I don't think it got nerfed, Bowman, but did I miss something? Did Dwellers get nerfed? I don't think Influence CS deficient humans, but nerfs you see are still cause the community. You never see any of them. Yeah. Alright, Lewin for Dr. Jellyfish is going to dive in to fight. It looks like he was trying to just get a free charge onto some Peasant Bowmen, but now he's caught up on the Fey Enchantress. And she's keeping him on the ground as long as they're in melee? And then we do have some Grail Knights coming in. If he gets caught on the ground, this could be pretty terrible for the blue Bretonnia, for Dr. Jellyfish. Lewin's just walking around with the Fey Enchantress on his wing. There we go. He finally got away from her, but is it going to matter? Nope. She hit him in the butt, so he's back in combat again. Alright, he did get real close to his own front line, though, so he should be able to pull through there without too much issue, but that is a very unfortunate start for the blue team. On the other side, red is charging forward, and their Peasant Mobs are breaking because blue did a nice charge through his own units to knock them out quickly. Field Trebuchet is in trouble. Peasant Bowmen are getting in range from Butcherbird already, so it won't have too much time to freely fire. And a nice Dwellers Below cast already, though I think it's just hitting a Peasant Mob. Like, that's a good-looking blob, but there aren't that many things actually in it. Meanwhile, Dr. Jellyfish sent his knights out and about to already crush the front line of the other Bretonnia, and they are hitting the Peasant Bowmen. Unfortunately, they're getting side-charged by Grail Knights, so they'll have to be careful about that. Butcherbird's Mounted Yeomen are attacking the sides. They will barely get through Peasant Mobs. Looks like they're not even getting through Peasant Mobs, so don't necessarily love that unit. But it is a trade. So Dr. Jellyfish is taking out a lot of Butcherbird's backline at the sacrifice of some of his own knights, because he is getting side-charged by the Grail Knights. Meanwhile, Dr. Jellyfish is just counting on archers and trebuchets to punish the Grail Knights for what they're doing, and they are taking a decent bit of combat for being, you know, largely unopposed in their charges here. One Bowman is gone entirely. The second Bowman is just starting to rout, but he'll probably, judging by his health, he'll probably be able to get far away and rally. Second Bowman's okay. Where's the fourth? Fourth's over there. He's fine. He's chilling. Was that an Earthblood for who? Who got that Earthblood? Alright, Butcherbird threw out an Earthblood in the back. Meanwhile, Dr. Jellyfish's box is holding. King Lewin did manage to avoid those Grail Knights and even got a countercharge from his own Knights of the Realm that appears to have done a lot of good damage. Fey Enchantress is in the front Mortis Engineering, though she's just Mortis Engineering down Spearman Arms, so who cares? One of the Knight units for Dr. Jellyfish is out. Another one is barely hanging on to any leadership, but its health is super low. And we have a Questing Knight in the back getting shot, poisoned, and fighting Grail Knights, so not a good time there. Crowfather does pull slightly ahead on the balance of power and on the damage value, so we'll have to see how that goes. Meanwhile, Dr. Jellyfish is going to throw out his own Dwellers Below. I think that should probably be saved for a Cav engagement somewhere. Oh, okay, these guys are getting hit by Dwellers, so... they already got out of it. Yeah, that's not great. I don't know. Killing... Oh, those are Battle Pilgrims. Okay, that's a little more justifiable than Battle Pilgrims, but still. I think the Dwellers in this matchup has to be focused on the Cav. Wasting it on infantry is pretty meh. Butcherbird has attained grand advantage in the mobile game. He has 2 healthy cav pieces. 1 healthy. 2 unhealthy left. But as for Dr. Jellyfish, he has no cavalry left. 1 Grail Knight. They're severely outnumbered. Lewin is getting bodied by Gotrek at the moment. And that's about it. I don't know. I am worried. I'm worried in the Supreme for Dr. Jellyfish. Gotrek is a great duelist versus Lewin. Lewin probably needs to get the fuck out of here and stop doing this anti-large armor-piercing duelist. He should be around doing everything he can to fight elsewhere. Like, yeah, fight the Enchantress. Go do that. Swarm Gotrek with peasants. I don't know. But it's rough. It's rough. I think the balance of power right now is a little disingenuous. Maybe if they snipe the Fae, they'll be alright. Maybe, but the Brett mirror and one side has cav advantage in the late game. That's scary stuff. Faye throws down an Earthblood on herself and some peasants and battle pilgrims, mostly focusing on herself, though, because she just took a ton of damage from the Sword of Corone. Lewin went around her and never actually focused up. The Mounted Yeomen are again charging peasant mobs. They might be able to break them while they get shot, just as long as they don't break themselves first. But Lewin largely fucked up. It wasn't a misplay by Dr. Jellyfish, but his model doing that thing where he runs around the Fae Enchantress instead of actually attacking her was pretty critical, because that was a huge moment in the game where he could have gotten a valuable Lord Snipe and take out their caster and take out their Mortis Engine, but they did not, so I think the game is probably over as far as blue team is concerned. The Chalice Potion is going to nuke down some red peasant mobs, but it's largely hoping to also hit the Field Trebuchet and the blue peasant mobs, and the friendly fire doesn't matter whatsoever to Zephae. Boom! It honestly did more value for red, just doing that much damage off a Field Trebuchet for nuking an entire peasant mob. Lewin is for some reason charging Gotrek, which I don't know why he's so fixated on charging Gotrek, but it's just not going to work. Like you're seeing, he's getting his ass kicked right now by that little guy, and really should not be there. It's a pretty tough mistake. Dweller's nerf was dwelling below and thus not spotted in time. Dwellers got nerfed, not in the patch notes. Single target damage got nerfed, or the single entity damage anyway. That's weird. It doesn't do damage to single entities anymore. Interesting. Faye pegging Lewin. The Fae wasn't doing shit to Lewin, he was just running around in circles, but him fighting Gotrek has not been working out. As far as this goes, I think it is largely over. The balance of power is being oddly generous to blue at the moment. They have a caster, some men-at-arms polearms, and that is it. Versus Grail Knights, versus Gotrek, versus the Fae, versus archers. I don't know. Balance power's on drugs. In my Beastmen game, an army lost me while I was still routing stuff off, but in this game, it's like, I don't know, there's a men-at-arms polearms. But yeah. Might be different now, so just a few years ago when Duck was still giving input, but though not officially actually played the game as passionate about multiplayer. Multiplayer might be dead, but won't work. Like Dawn of War 3. Nah. Bonus versus passion. They seem to drive it out of anyone, yeah. What up, Mr. Casual? There we go. Army losses coming in. Butcherbird will prevail. Nicely done. Fae Enchantress, 2,500 value. The other caster, only 862. Lewin got 1,300 value. His knights did mixed, but overall well. For Dr. Jellyfish, his trebuchet actually did quite nice. Some of his peasant bowmen did all right. Infantry, not really going to pay for itself, but it's a Bretonnian mirror, so what do you want from him? Gotrek got incredible value. Peasants and pilgrims did okay. Peasant bowmen did okay. Grail Knights did really well. As far as that goes, I think I have been shit-talking Lewin for a while. I don't think he's a great choice, but even if you are going to take him here, he needed to be much more focused on the Fae Enchantress and less focused on Gotrek, because he kept opting into a fight that he was going to lose. So I don't really know what that was about, but it was a mistake. Other than that, Jellyfish played pretty well. It's just a two, because like Lewin's 2,700 gold, right? That's something you need to remember. So that's a sixth of his army, and a sixth of his army couldn't get much done, and was just chasing around Gotrek when it should have been chasing around the Fey Enchantress, which he tried to at one point, but then gave up on and kept cycle charging Gotrek, which just didn't work. The Dwellers casts also weren't focused on Birds Grail Knights; they were focused on Battle Pilgrims and Peasants, which didn't really work out. So, some bad fights, some interesting spell choices. Not spell choices, but spell placement choices. Ended up losing for Bird. Just solid. Solid game. Sacrificed his backline of Peasants to get a side charge with his Grail Knights, which was good. Probably overextended with the Fey Enchantress a little bit, but it wasn't punished, so it ended up working out. And Gotrek just walked forward and kept hitting things. Shetland, that's pretty funny. Gotrek winning in the Bretonnian mirror? Yeah. I mean, he's good. I feel like Gotrek's underrated. Gotrek can't really swing. His wife's dead. Facts. Skaven versus Beastmen, we just saw this before. See what Butcherbird does differently, but he was watching how it went for me, so he should know Dr. Jellyfish's build unless he changes it, and Butcherbird is also a better Beastman player than me. So he'll be fine. I'm gonna take a leak. I'll return soon. Oh boy. I'm back. Their whole life is toiling on the same fields and will eventually become dirt. Felix is Gotrek's new wife. Got him. YouTube has no pride flags, lame. It's because Qatar owns YouTube. Strat game at the $10. Why? Why would you do that? Thank you. Why would you do that? Thanks, though. But what is wrong with you? Thanks, buddy. Holding it down, bro. Thanks for hosting as usual. Yeah. Yeah. Doing my best. Doing my best. So the frustrations about like the patch stuff, it might just sound like salty gamer syndrome or whatever, but like, I don't know. Some people don't like when I'm negative, but it like, you know, I am actively involved in the multiplayer community. I am very, I don't know. I pay a lot of attention to it, and it's like tournament signups are way down. The Warhammer World Cup now has about 20 people per, where at the start it had 100. Well, actually, most of their tournaments these days have been 15 people. My channel ceased to grow. We were at 3.69 subs forever, and we just ticked over to 3.7. So subscribers have cratered. Viewership's been okay. Mid. Tournament participation's way down. the Vermin League ladder, there's not a lot of games being played, so it's like, you know, I get frustrated about that kind of stuff. And then the patch comes out and it's like nothing changed about the meta. And I've talked to at least 3 different people that are just saying like, yeah, I want to come back and play Warhammer 3. It's just like all these bugs need to be fixed, or, you know, this unit interaction needs to be fixed, or the meta needs to change and all this stuff. And then a patch comes out that's like pretty limp. And it's just, oh, okay. So we'll see how many people hang around, but it sucks. And I worry for... I have a lot of anxiety about the future of my channel and the future of our content, right? Because if it like sucks for too long, I have to go... I would have to quit YouTube and do other shit. Like, you know? I can't be around forever. This stuff takes time and money, and it's all an investment, right? It's an investment that in the future it'll get paid back. But if the game sucks for too long and the investment period keeps stretching out and out and out, it's less and less likely I'll ever get the money back or the time back or make this into a real career. So then I'll have to stop streaming, and like, because I'm leaving my current bullshit job that I hate in a month and a half. And it's like, well, okay. But my next job might not be bullshit and dumb. Like, I won't have time to do this. I might be busy. Like, Grace and I are thinking about having kids and stuff. So it's like, I can't do 80 hours a week forever. And that's currently what I do, you know, because I put about 30 hours a week into my actual job and then about 40 to 50 into YouTube shit. I can't do that forever. I don't want to do that forever, but it's like, if this investment is going to pay off, then I'll have to stop streaming. I'll have to stop doing this, right? So there's like there's a reason I get so salty about the patch notes being shit and CA being shit at this stuff, is it's like, I mean, this isn't just a casual thing for me. It's a lot of time, and I can't do it forever. So it's like, either this has to start paying off, like Anticity and Turn can do it full time, right? Or I have to leave. Like, life is happening, you know? I got engaged this weekend, right? So, just saying. That's why you might be like, this guy is really fucking salty. I am really fucking salty, but I'm more invested in it than, like, most people probably are. Anyway. Some people already qualified to the World Cup, so maybe less and less people wanted to face them. True. It was smart to make it domination, never support it. Again, you're not playing the YouTube thumbnail meta game. What do you mean? Short guys deserve love. I mean, not from you, technically they do. You get our own unit. If you get a unit named after you, what would you want it to be, Human Boy? I'll think on that. What unit do I like that a lot of people don't like? I don't know. Probably a Rattling Gun. Probably a Rattling Gun. All right. Here we go. So, builds are all set up. On Butcherbird's side, we have 4 Centaurs. We do have a Bray Shaman of Death. He's on a Chariot for more mobility. Doom and Darkness, Aspect of the Dread Knight, and Spirit Leech. A front line of Gores, Ungor Herds, and Ungor Spearman Herds, all mixed throughout. We do have 2 Feral Manticores. We have a single Tuskor Chariot, Morgur, the Shadow Gave, the Butchers of Kalkengard, ROR, big boys. We do have the Blackhorns Ravager Gore Herd. On the other side, for Dr. Jellyfish, it's a very similar, if not the exact same build we saw earlier. Ick Claw on his Doom Flayer to make him cheaper, but also still very mobile. He has Flensing Ruin, Howling Warp Gale, and Warp Lightning. We do have a 1 Assassin for a little bit of a debuff bot, Triple Globes, 4 Slingers in the back, 4 Rat Ogres, and a front line of Clan Rats and Clan Rat Spears. So, seen it before, rather effective Skaven box build versus the Beastmen, and already you can see the Beastmen front line has been obliterated. But the Beastmen never rely on their front line to win the game. They rely on their monstrous infantry and single entities. Let's see if I was wrong for not taking the double Manticores. They do dive straight onto Ick Claw. I expect we're going to get a Flensing Ruin here pretty soon, because this is a lot of single entities and expensive monstrous infantry all sitting in the same places. The Minotaurs are just getting fucking deleted by the double Giselles and the Poison Wind Globes. Already the Minotaurs are gone, and the Feral Manticores plus Morgur are all about to be hit by the overcasted Flensing Ruin. Let's see if they can even get out of it in time, because it's like Final Trans, not Soul Stealer, so it doesn't stick to you if you move, but they are going to rampage pretty soon, so they'll be stuck in the full duration of the thing. Centaurs are charging onto the sides, getting pretty good damage, but is it gonna matter? Skaven are up already 3 times the damage value as Manticores are starting to rampage. Manticores are getting close to routing, and they even have Rival Hide Talisman on them, lowering their melee attack to just literally 0. And it's a really rough start for the Beastmen, as we have seen before. Now, the first Chaos spawn of Morgur's Summon has come out. It's now attacking the Natty Boopa Sharpshooters, so this is how every Skaven game goes. Did you get far enough ahead at the very start to win the game, or not? A whole bunch of Skaven Slave Slingers are starting to rout, as the Warplock Giselles also get rear charged. They're not having a good time, and Globes are trying to clear out some more of the Blackhorns Ravagers and stuff, but both of the Manticores are taken out entirely, and the Assassin is now on the Morgur. One Assassin can 1v1 Morgur pretty easily if he can't get away. Ikat Claws also fighting the Brave Shaman of Death, and this Chaos Spawn summon will eventually wear out. Balance power is quite against the Beastmen at this point, and I do agree. There are lots of routing units, but also means you'll have to commit resources to chasing them to make sure they don't come back, and while you do that, your Brave Shaman, your Morgur are all gonna die. Skaven have 3 globes that are still healthy. All the rest of the ranged assets have been pushed off. They have a couple Rat Ogres of mixed health, but Butcherbird has done a quite good job of limiting them. We have 2 healthy Rat Ogres left. The other 2 are rather dead. Ikat Claw is trying to fire his Storm Demon in point-blank combat. Can he do it? Yes, it does a little bit of damage. Assassin's also coming over to help rather than helping with Morgur. I think that's probably a mistake because this Brave Shaman of Death is on a chair, just going to roll away. So I think that was a bit of a mistake there from Dr. Jellyfish, but he'll get back to Morgur before he escapes anyway, so it'll be fine. Poison Globe still trying to throw out the Blackhorns Ravagers off on the side as Ungors try to poke at them, but 100 armor on the Poison Globes will keep them safe. Centaurs are tearing apart Rat Ogres, and Butcherbird is doing his very best to claw back into this game. I think it's going to be huge if the Skaven can snipe out Morgur before he gets his second Chaos Spawn summon, the one that you can't control. It's just if a unit nearby you gets low enough on HP that it transforms into one. But they really need to snipe him out to lower the Beastman leadership down. It's Final Trans, but more OP. It did get nerfed. Yeah, it got nerfed. Blackhorns Ravagers were chasing down some of these slingers, but it looks like with Clan Rats and Rat Ogres rallying in this corner, they're just going to abandon that and leave, and Rat Ogres are still trying to wrap up this that caster over there. Manticores are coming back, and the Skaven, the balance power is back to even, damage value is also back to even. This Assassin really needs to just be sitting on Morgur. Can't allow him to escape like that. Things are looking pretty good for the Beastmen, honestly. The rear charge went well. Ikat Claw and the Assassin are trying to fight off a Manticore, but they're surrounded by Centaurs at this moment. We'll see if they can get out of that. Meanwhile, Morgur is still running around. Caster for the Beastmen is almost routing. He's at 0 leadership. There we go. He starts to rout, and the Rat Ogres are nearby, though he'll probably rally off in the distance somewhere. Manticore routes again. Ikat has taken a good amount of damage, and the Assassin is back on to Morgur. Boop. If they can't take out Morgur, they probably won't win, though. Rat Ogres are going to continue chasing this guy. 70 speed versus 60. He should get away, and it looks like he is getting a bit of distance between himself. Strat game, I saw the super chat. I got to catch up with it after the game because a whole bunch of stuff's going on, but I did see. Warp Lightning, trying to take out some of this Ungor herd, and Ikat Claw plus the Assassin are really trying to finish off Big Dr. Morgur. Rat Ogres do get attack orders onto the Centaurs, which is pretty huge since they didn't just get charged for free. Now, Centaurs still do outcharge them, but it's better to get some damage than just die horribly. Morgur's getting real low. He's trying to regen up, but it's not going super great, and he does finally rout. Now, he still is going to keep regenerating up, and I haven't seen his second Chaos Spawn summon. I don't know if he can get that while he's routing. I think he can. So if this Clan Rat Spear unit takes enough damage, it'll just turn into a Chaos Spawn, and that could be pretty game-changing for Butcherbird, but if the Skaven manage to finish him off before that happens or get him far enough away from any Skaven units, they'll be okay. Manticore is trying to charge in now with 0 HP. It does a weird just stand and T-pose charge attack, which was interesting to say the least. This Manticore is going to rout one more time. That'll shatter it, and it is gone. Ikat Claw is back after Morgur. They can't allow him to rally, as the Assassin is going to keep fighting, but they need to get him out of here before he can do his second summon. Beastmen did manage to save the Brave Shaman of Death on the far side, so they are rallying, and it is just Ikat Claw and the Assassin versus everything else at this point. But I haven't seen too many Flensing Ruins out of Ikat, so he probably has a lot of Winds of Magic. No, actually he's been using Warp Lightning quite frequently. In fact, we're probably going to get another one right here, just to peel off the Centaurs. Either like they fuck off or take a bunch of damage. Ooh, it's actually going to be a Brass Orb. That's a good brass orb. That's going to hit a lot of them. And an assassin charging them in the side. Their leadership is lowering, but can it lower fast enough for these guys to get to Morgar? That's what they really want. They just want to keep chasing Morgar down. Yep. All right, they're back after him. Now, not being able to kill Morgar is a bit of a bummer. I've said this a million times, but for anybody who doesn't know, if you kill Morgar, kill a Lord, there's a big leadership debuff, whereas if you run him off the map, there's a small leadership debuff. But leadership debuffs are good nonetheless. More Centaurs trying to peel for Morgar. It is going to get trapped up again. I also expect to see a Warp Lightning right here, but it looks like they're not. Instead, they're just going to charge the Assassin, push him away, and Ikit will continue to chase Morgar off the map. As for the rest of the Beastmen, we are down to mostly just infantry, which Ikit can clear a lot of with his Warp Lightnings, if he has any left. He's trying to charge Morgar again. That's kind of pointless. Might as well charge the Centaurs so you don't get rear charge, because Morgar is off the map. There he goes. What happens to the Beastmen? Do they get a mass rout? Looks like we had one route so far. More Centaurs routing, and with nearby allies routing, these Ungor herds might also rout, but they get up to 12 leadership on the charge. And what the fuck is that Flensing Ruin cast? Okay, good, he canceled it. That could have been terrible. What is that? Dude, why are you casting that? Okay, he cancels it again. But why? Why Flensing Ruin cast that? Why not save it for the caster? Ooh! Big mistake from Butcherbird, though. Overcasting, mistake is subjective, but he overcast Spirit Leech from afar, and that overcast damage caused him to rout and take a bunch of damage. But these Centaurs survived the entire Flensing Ruin. They did just fine, then they ran up to Ikit, did a bunch of damage to him, plus the Spirit Leech does get him to rout, and I doubt he's going to come back with that little HP, so it is down to just the Assassin without Ikit nearby. That is pretty brutal. I really didn't like that Flensing Ruin cast. Did not like it at all. Warp Lightnings were just better at that point. Or Flensing Ruin, the Deathcaster. I don't know what that was. Without Ikit on the field, and he is gone, the Master Assassin, the regular Assassin, is left alone. I worry his leadership's not going to be able to take it, especially because Blackguard's Ravagers are going to beat him up. I think that is a Beastman victory. That was some really not good Winds of Magic usage at the end there. I did not like that at all. Alright. If you're struggling to find new subscribers from the outside to bring in, why not just have the subs you do have already make more the chat breeding program? Need more clickbait and thirst traps. Have you ever played Call of Warhammer? I've not. Alright. That is it. Butcherbird goes up 2-0 and wins. The issue for me is the theoretical fix to the problem, so ridiculously low effort. Modify a data table as unit stats. That's it. Yeah, strat game. I agree for sure. And thank you for the $10. I got back to it. I just had to cast the game. So Ikit did very well. Assassin did very well. Gisele's got shut down rather quickly. Radaugers did what they had to. Globes did all right. And Slingers also got shut down very quickly. On the other side, Morgar did okay. He only got off one of his spawn summons, but he was just tanky. Spirit Leech caster did fine. Frontline got murdered. But Centaur's 2,000, 1,400, 1,300, and 600 value is pretty huge. Manticores also got instantly ganked, but Centaurs just carried the whole game. Centaurs and Spawn aren't meta in this matchup. They are. They did well. His attention was always on the weird. His attention is always on the weird video game. What a nerd. Yeah. I usually catch up with chat in the build phase, pick and ban phase, stuff like that. And then when I'm in the game, I usually focus on the game. Usually. All right. Ba-ba-bam. Sorry, I'm looking for our next game. Found strat game. So look at the bracket. Butcherbird did prevail over Dr. Jellyfish. Very nicely done there. Guillaume and Cal Harmon are still fighting. They'll probably be done soon because they've been matched up for quite a while. Though Guillaume can sometimes have some lag issues, so maybe something that's holding it up. Top semifinal strat game and trigger should be ready soon. So we're up here. What up, Bird? Warlock Engineer with a Rattling Gun is a weird unit, but we need CA to make it an homage to Human Boy. If you meant a hero, probably a Packmaster. Packmaster would be pretty nice. And then my mount options could be Ed for the Rat Ogre, Hazel Basil for the Brood Whore. Triggers here. Bird, since you're in the chat, don't wait for us for the other semifinal. You can start that as soon as you get your opponent. Because I'm going to have to leave at 2, so 2 hours from now. I'm going to have to leave to go get Miss Grace from the airport. You called the Packmaster know his rat brain works? You got me. Send a cab, I'm sure she won't mind. Send a cab an hour and a half away. That feels economic. You're silly, Shetland. Cal Harmon did prevail, so it's Cal Harmon and Butcherbird on the other side. Strat game and trigger up here. ODM in their own tournament have 2 people in the semifinals. Pretty fucking sus. That's the sussest thing I've ever seen. Alright, sorry. I was just looking at some stuff. Looking at some things. Hi, Gamma. You can send a picture of a cab. That's free. It is. You know what? That is free. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All right. What is this shit? Okay. Okay. Your next matchup awakes you. Thanks, challenge. What the fuck? BRB. I got 2 things. How did I get 2 things? What the hell? Hey, Muka. Alright. I have 3 Discord messages. What is it? Strat game. So game 1 is Trigger picked Grand Cathay, banned Dark Elves, VC, and Tomb Kings. Skaven, so we have Skaven versus Grand Cathay. Second game is Vampire Coast versus Dark Elves, and game 3 is either VC, Warriors of Chaos, or Grand Cathay, banned Vampire Coast. I mean, yeah. Hey, so are you enjoying the new patch, new meta? Same as the old patch, old meta? I got something in the mail. Let's see what it is. The fuck? What the shit? Okay, that is what I thought it was. Whee! I screwed up game 3. Alright, Strat. I don't know what that means. You glorious. You lower Grace's expectation for your marriage by forgetting to pick her up today. That's how you do relationship manage. Yeah, I could. Ah! Someone flying. Oh, hey, this also arrived. Alright. We take those. Christmas presents are arriving. Yay. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is so crazy. Oh my god. Okay. Right. Cool. I have to mark those as here. Hi, Hazel Basil. Hi, Hazel Basil. Yeah, hi there. You want lunch, don't you? It's about your lunchtime. How's the tournament going? Fine, Coops. Fine. A lot of the same factions, but fine. The games have been good at least. So that's nice. Hi! Hi! Hazel's here, being a basil. Hummus lost. Everything is gray and sad now. VCOP is probably the biggest news. I am pretty sad that I lost. I'll confirm that. Hi. Hi. What the hell did I just do? That's what I did. Fixed it. Played the goddamn Brett Mirror. What else do you want? That's true. That was neat. I'm playing Brett Wood Elves now. Was that engagement ring capped with a Warpstone gem? Sure. Same thing, Greenskins Dowie. Same faction as my F. Well, that's off stream. We don't know that. On stream, what we have seen today is Beastmen Skaven, Grand Cathay, Vampire Counts, Brett. Warriors of Chaos was hovered, but it wasn't picked. That's about it. Because on the stream we saw Skaven Beastmen, Grand Cathay Counts. What was game 1? Skaven Demons of Chaos. So that was my series in Jellyfish. And then your series with Jellyfish was Bretonnia, and then Beastmen Skaven. But your game 3 would have been a VC mirror, sir. So your game 3 would have been a VC mirror, Mr. Sir. And then now this series is going to be Grand Cathay Skaven, VP Dark Elves, and VP Warriors of Chaos. That's why I made it only go 2 games. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Someone porch pirated one of my GIFs, so now I'm dealing with that. And it's really hard to figure this shit out, because I have an email that's like, use this link to go create a complaint or whatever, and it's like, I did, that's how I got this thing. So like, the link sent me to some, not the link, but like, I had to open a case, and then it sent me to that. I don't know, man. It just sucks. Okay, so your account, messages. All right. This first pick phase is taking a while. Very magnanimous. There we go. They're ready. Skaven versus Cathay. One of the better matchups in Cathay's repertoire. Skaven are actually favored. One of the very few factions favored versus Cathay. Wait. And we have a very strat game build. No infantry. It's funny that Skaven got nerfed and now we're seeing so much of them. Must just be the crowd today. Loading in. Loading in. So Strat Games build is 4 Warplock Jezzails, 3 Poison Globes, 4 Rat Ogres, and triple Wolf Rats. Looks like 2 with Poison, 1 with the Magic Damage Armor Piercing. Then we have a Grey Seer with Summon and Plague, and the Dreaded 13th spell. Interesting. Plague is weird. It's a vortex that doesn't suck anybody into the middle, so you can just walk out of it. So I wonder why you took Plague. It's powerful if they just sit in it, but you can just walk away. Like, even after it casts, you can start just walking away. Whereas, like, the more powerful general spells are like Pit of Shades or Talons of Night and stuff, because they suck a bunch of units into the center and keep them there for the full duration. Plague's just there. It's just a circle that if you stand in it, you'll take damage. On the other side, for Trigger and Cathay, we do have Jade Warrior Frontline, double Crane Gunner, double Jade Warrior Crossman, the shielded version. One's the shielded version, one isn't. Peasant Long Spears in the back, double Longma Rider, one of which is the Righteous Lances, and double Peasant Horseman for a bit of harass. Then we have a Dragon-Blooded Shugi Lord of Yin with Ancestral Warrior Summon and Talons of Night. Ancestral Warrior Summon is the big spell here versus Skaven that they really don't like to face. But in general, they should be happy with how this build goes, though they did take the Plague Seer, not the Ruin Seer. The Ruin Seer is generally better, in my opinion, because Warp Lightning is so good against Cathay Infantry. Howling Warp Gale really nerfs what Longma Riders can do to harass your backline. And then you could still just take the Dreaded 13th if you wanted, but I generally prefer Ikit. So I don't know how this is going to go. Also, Longmas generally have a hard time because you get Howling Warp Guild and then just shot out of the sky. But if they're allowed to land, they can rout off a Warplock Jezzail or a Poison Wind Globe crew pretty quickly. Cathay is outgunned. They're going to want to advance. Seeing as how there's literally 0 infantry on the enemy side, they are going to want to get in melee as quickly as possible, especially with these Peasant Horsemen. Run up there, do some Peasant Horseman stuff. And Strat Games, I mean, all of his carry potential is in his ranged assets. He has no infantry to grind whatsoever, so he's just relying on that sort of thing. Jade Warrior Crossbows are going to fire Poison Wind Globes. Looks like actually Trigger is opting to kite back, doesn't want to charge up with his Jade Warriors and get involved. Interesting. It looks like the Jezzails are being ignored for now. Crane Gunners are focusing on the Globes. This actually could be pretty smart if you realize the enemy just doesn't have a lot of tools to grind through your infantry. If you take out all the Globes, I mean, Warplock Jezzails will run out of ammo, right? Longmas are taking a fight with the Radokers? That's interesting. As an Ancestral Warrior Summon is going to spawn next to them, forcing the Jezzails to walk away. They won't be able to support this fight. That is an interesting choice. I don't know whether it's good or not. It's surprising. Arwar Longmas did land on Warplock Jezzails for a moment. They are going to try to fly away from the Wolf Rats, but these Longmas are now in a 2v1 fight, so they'll need help of some kind. I wonder if there's a Talons of Night, but that seems like a lot to waste on one Wolf Rat. For Strat Game, his third Poison Wind Globe is now mucked up in melee combat. It did get kited out as it was chasing after this Jade Warrior Crossman. So all 3 of his Globes have taken a lot of damage. Longmas are running around, taking a little bit of poke fire from the Warplock Jezzails, but the Ancestral Warriors will catch up to this other Jezzail quickly enough. Yeah, that Longma charge didn't end up working out. They charged the Radokers, which is the thing that was meant to fight them, and then it fought them, and then it won. Skaven are up on the balance of power. But Cathay has routed another one of the Jezzail units. Ooh, and a missile mirror onto this Jezzail to try and keep the Arwar Longmas set. But they are going to get charged by Radogers and Dogs. I don't know. I think Cathay should have pushed up with their infantry, and then the Longmas charge later. But like right now, the Longmas are just charging completely naked, no support around whatsoever, and they're getting fucked up. So I think that is a pretty big mistake from Trigger, unfortunately. Other Longmas plus the Shugi Lord are going to try and stop this Jezzail from firing. Now, most of the Globes have been taken care of. And the Jezzails have taken a lot of damage as well. Especially this one that's now in range for the archers to actually start shooting it. Still take a lot of damage over there. Balance of power keeps going in the favor of the Skaven, but I do worry about their longevity. I don't know. I think it's getting a little ahead of itself here. Because their ranged assets are not having a good day. Peasant Horsemen are going to side charge these Jezzails. I don't know if they'll rout them off before the Dogs and Radogers really take care of them. I don't know. Globes are about to get routed again. That Jezzail was like, stop hitting yourself, pretty much. Ooh, and a Crane Gunner's back? That's actually pretty huge. Grey Seer is trying to get in range to Dreaded 13th. This Crane Gunner, I would imagine, or get some sort of summon onto it. Meanwhile, Peasant Horsemen paired with Jade Warriors are fighting off the Dogs and all these things. Longmas in the sky, tattered but unbroken, will run down all of these routing units. And it was actually just a normal Clan Rat summon on the Jade Warriors, but I don't know how much that's going to do. Crane Gunners are poking down the Grey Seer a little bit, and Balance Power goes back to the middle for Cathay. Jade Warriors are fighting a shit ton of Rat Ogres. We have Archer support coming nearby, and Peasant Longspear support also running in. Great Long Marauders getting run down by the Wolf Rats with poison. They shouldn't have landed, unfortunately. They did need to just keep chasing things off from the sky. They didn't actually want to land. The Dreaded 13th did come onto the Crane Gunners just a little later than I anticipated, and the Shugi Lord is currently kicking the shit out of the Grey Seer of Plague with an Ancestral Warrior Summon here. Very interesting. Yeah, the Grey Seer is immediately going to path away. That's what I thought. There's nothing to hold him here. That was bold. It's a very bold summon. Probably wanted to throw that somewhere with Rat Ogres to just take out a whole Rat Ogre unit. Because the Grey Seer is just going to walk away, and then that's a wasted summon. Jade Warrior Crossbows are getting taken out by Wolf Rats with poison for now. As well as the Clan Rat Summon. The Clan Rat Summon just disappeared, so it's mostly down to the Wolf Rats. And these Pendant Longspears need to come over and help with that. Shugi Lord is following around this guy. As the Ancestral Warrior Summon gives up the fight. That summon is currently being wasted. Very sad to see it. Skaven are also heavily relying on summons, as Jade Warriors do just walk up to these Jezzails and start to take them down. We have more Peasant Horsemen in the nearby area that can try and chase things. It's just about if they can get these Rat Ogres to keep routing. They really need to chase down the Rat Ogres. They're tempted to maybe attack the Warplock Jezzails, but if those Rat Ogres rally, they'll kill the Peasant Horsemen and then save the back line. Meanwhile, the Shugi Lord got stuck in a bunch of Rat Ogres. That is another Clan Rat summon, but these are Rat Ogres all nearby, and we have crossbows that the Peasant Longspears were able to bail them out. But yeah, the Ancestral Warrior summon faded. It was entirely wasted, unfortunately. Tough stuff there. Peasant Horsemen did go for the Warplock Jezzails, and just like we mentioned, those Rat Ogres are now back. If they are rallied and brought over here, they could kill those guys and save the Jezzails. This lady looks like she used some sort of magic somewhere, but I don't see what happened with it. Maybe Talons of Night, but she does walk away and gets back in the sky. That's pretty good for Cathay. If they want to stay in this game, they'll have to stay. She'll have to stay alive. Another Stormverm with Halberd summons. That's a lot of summons out from the Greys here so far. He has 3 regulars left and no Dreaded 13s left. So if Cathay can hold on, they might be all right. As for range tools, they have a Crane Gunner back, and dogs are just sweeping up. But I don't know, if Cathay consolidates their infantry, I think they have a decent shot. Shugi Lord is going to land on the Grey Seer. It's a little caught up in missing its animation there, and then a Clan Rat summon comes out yet again. Stormvarmer summon is walking over. 10 seconds left on him before he disappears entirely. We have more Wolf Rats to rally, but Cathay is very far behind on the balance of power due to all of these summons. See how it goes when he fades away. Warp. There, bounce power got a tick or two better, but Shugi Lord now needs to recharge this Grey Seer back and forth before the Rat Ogres get here. Peasant Horsemen are chased off. Looks like all the Jezzails are gone. And their massive stash of ammo being off the field should help the bounce power a little bit more for Cathay. We'll see. Shugi Lord is currently T-posing a little bit. She needs to figure shit out and move on. She needs to either be attacking these Rat Ogres who are in the middle of nowhere. Well, probably not that one because it's next to dogs. Or she needs to be attacking this guy while he doesn't have Rat Ogre support. But she needs to do something before the Skaven group up. Because if the Skaven group up, then that's going to be GG. Another summon from the Vermintide. 1 use left. So as soon as this Clan Rat fades, I'll be fine. But again, she's running away from just Clan Rats. Wow. She really needs to stick in the fight and beat up the Grey Seer. Like, until Rat Ogres arrive. After Rat Ogres arrive, sure, fuck off then, but not before. I don't know. She T-pose lands, fails to land, and the Grey Seer is just going to rout off all of these peasants. She lands now. Let's just get off an attack already. Rat Ogres are stuck fighting these Jade Warriors. Looks like this other Rat Ogre is going to charge in and try and bail out his buddy. And Wolf Rats are coming to the fight. They will, dogpile in. She hasn't used, yeah, there it is. She hasn't used Winds of Magic in a while, so there's Talons of Night coming off cooldown now. It'll nuke down a summon, but it'll also do a lot of damage to these Wolf Rats with poison. And that is a pretty huge play for Trigger to stay in this game. Look at that, full health Wolf Rat. Almost dead entirely as the final summon comes out, and it's already in the Talons of Night, so it takes a little bit of damage, but overall it is fine. Rat Ogres are here now, so the Shugi Lord needs to leave, as the Rat Ogres will get poked down by the Peasant Longspear, but that was a pretty huge play for Trigger to stay in this game. That is it. No more summons. None. 0 for the Skaven. Balance of power is still extremely Skaven favored. We have a healthy Peasant Longspear. We have a relatively healthy Jade Warrior, and it looks like now Rat Ogres are all ganging up on that poor Jade Warrior. The Longma Shugi Lord needs to come over there, and these Peasant Longspearmen probably don't need to fight this Clan Rat anymore. Longma Rider charges in. It looks like she's attacking the low health Rat Ogres, trying to rout off the support for the Grey Seer, then deal with him later rather than trying to snipe him out, though she's currently T-posing a little bit, forgetting the plot. Don't know if Cathay can hold on. Wolf Rats, the last of them, charge into the Peasant Longspears. Peasant Longspears do need to focus on them and not the Summon. The Summon has 12 seconds left, and then it'll be gone forever. One Rat Ogre routs. Shugi Lord is still in here fighting. Jade Warriors are still in here fighting. Another Talon. Talons? Is that a Talons or a Plague? It is a Talons. Talons of Night trying to do a little bit more damage to these Rat Ogres. Really just finish them off. I'm worried about the friendly fire on the Jade Warriors, but it looks like they are not even a part of this at all. And the Talons of Night does rout off one Rat Ogre, but the Jade Warriors are also going to rout. Peasant Longspears are here. The Clan Rat summon has faded. No more summons. None. Zero. Shugi Lord is now stuck fighting dogs and Rat Ogres, but the Peasant Longspears are coming to her aid. If they can get here, they will murder the shit out of all these Rat Ogres, but it might not be enough, as army losses is probably going to hit for Cathay any second now. Can they rout off these Rat Ogres, or is this the end? It's looking like that's the end. Yep, army losses. Well played to both players. GG. I think the Ancestral Warrior summons were not ideal, unfortunately. There was one that was pretty good that chased a Warplock Jezzail around for a while, but the other one was unfortunately just wasted. Like, in the late game, that would have been huge if that was still available, or the Winds of Magic had been available for more Talons of Night, but an expensive summon like that thrown into the dirt is really, really bad. As for the Skaven, their globes made a couple mistakes, got caught, some of them walked into melee, but that stuff happens. Their Wolf Rats were really good. Rat Ogres were pretty solid. Grey Seer play was nice. All the summons were annoying indeed for Cathay. Longmas did all right, but again, I think they were thrown a bit too early, where when you realize your opponent has no infantry, they could just walk at them, and then if you're walking at the globes will have to back up, and the jails will have to back up, which you can do, but if you ever want your globes to fire again, you're going to have to commit Rat Ogres or Wolf Rats to the front line to hold things in place for a second so you turn on and fire, and then that's when the Longmas could go in. But as it happened, the game started, they dove in without any support, got surrounded by Rat Ogres and Wolf Rats, and died. So that was a lot of money gone for Cathay. Crane Gunners did well. Crossbows did well overall. Jade Warriors did great. And Peasant Horsemen did really well for just mucking things down. But I do not think this build is good. I don't think this is the way you want to fight Cathay. I mean, like, on the surface, you just need some Skaven slaves. On the surface, it's fine, but you need Skaven slaves to at least hold stuff in place. Because I think, like, if the Longmas hadn't been thrown away, this game was pretty GG. Because nothing could hold stuff in place for the Globes or Jezzails to really get their fire off. If Cathay had just realized they needed to walk up earlier and just walked at the Skaven, that would have been a bad time for them. I don't know. It's not like a terrible build. I just don't think it's ideal. It has a lot of the pieces you need. Just cut one Wolf Rat and get 3 slaves. Even that would be better. Or cut something on the Grey Seer. Cut Plague. Cut Plague and 1 Wolf Rat, and you could get 4 Skaven slaves, and then the build's really good. But I think having no infantry is sus as fuck. Sorry, misclick. Vampire Coast versus Dark Elves. So you have Coast versus Dark Elves, and then if Trigger wins this one, we'll go to game 3, which will be Coast versus Warriors of Chaos. Why aren't Plague Claw Catapults used in this matchup? They get outshot by Cathay. They don't do a lot of damage to crane gunners. They don't do a lot of damage to archers. They get outshot by cannons, and they get outshot by the rocket, the fire rain rocket. And yes, Longmas eat them. It's just not. They aren't very good at the moment, because like what plague clock catapults do well is kill clustered infantry around artillery pieces like Empire cannons or Bretonnian field trebuchets, right? Where you have low leadership, high density of crew models. Cathay has spread out crew models and high leadership, so it's not going to work. The other thing Plague Claws do well is in matchups with low leadership, they have the contaminated. I think that's what it's called, but their missiles have a minus leadership thing, and then you have the minus leadership from getting hit by artillery. Well, Cathay has 0 leadership issues, so they just don't do that well. That's why. Plague Clock catapults are mostly used for their debuff, not for their damage. Which, Cathay, you just need damage. All right, we're getting in. Then why not use the Warp Lightning Cannon? It also gets outshot. Warp Lightning Cannons are terrible artillery duelists, because they target the model of the cannons. This is actually the exact same reason as the Plague Clock catapults. Like, not bring the Warp Lightning Cannon because to get out, it doesn't do enough damage to crane gunners before they get in range and take it out. It doesn't do enough damage to archers. It misses Cathay cannon models a lot, but even if it hits them, it takes too many to take out a model. Well, Warp Lightning Cannons are tall, and the Cathay cannons are extremely accurate. So Cathay cannons are 300 gold cheaper. Wait, 100 gold cheaper. They're 300 gold cheaper than the ROR, which is what I'm used to. So they're 100 gold cheaper, and they win the artillery duel. So, yeah. Skaven artillery just underperforms Cathay artillery. Warp Black Jazales are 100% the way to go. Because while you're outranged for a hot second, you just move into range, and then Jazales will outshoot artillery pieces. Yeah, no. Both Skaven artillery pieces lose to Grand Cannons. Warp Lightning Cannons can be used to snipe enemy artillery if manually aimed. There is no way you're going to be able to manually aim and hit more accurately across a large-scale battle than just letting the AI do it and focusing your micro elsewhere. Looks like I showed up just in time for some Skaven wisdom. What up, Wood Tier? How you doing? Alright. We are into game. Trigger versus strat game. We have 4 Shades, 5 Bleak Swords, 3 Dark Shards with shields. Then we have 2 Harpies in the sky, one of which is the Crows of Cain in case of Gunbat spam. Then we have Dark Riders with shields, 1 Cold One Knight. We have a Supreme Sorceress of Fire with Burning Head, Flaming Sword of Rune, and Fireball. Who's the Lord? Oh, it's the Supreme Sorcerer. She is the Lord. Got it. That's why this Dark Elf build is so wide, is it has just a Caster Lord. Cool. On the other side, for strat game, we have a front line of Pistol Bombs. Are quite too used to seeing that. We have 2 dogs, 4 animated Hulks, 2 dogs on the other side, so 4 dogs, 4 Hulks. This is strat games like copy-paste Vampire Coast build. If he has 3 Depth Guard, yes he does. 3 Depth Guard with pole arms. This is the strat game copy-paste Vampire Coast build. He'll take this into like any matchup, no matter what it is. 2 Fellbats, Lamprey's Revenge, and then we do have the Vampire Fleet Admiral of Pistols with her Summon and Invocation Heck. That is it. The Dark Elves have a ton of missiles, a ton of armor-piercing missiles. Lamprey's Revenge should be in trouble, and honestly, the Dark Elves should outshoot a lot of the zombie pirate gunnery mobs. I really like their build. It's just about whether or not they can defend these things, but I think they can if played well. I really, really like Trigger's build here. This is nice. Normally I'm a Shade hater, but with the very cheap Caster Lord, you can just get such a volume of fire with 7 missile units, all of which are armor piercing. That can be pretty huge. Felbats are going to dive in, but they'll get countercharged by Cold One Knights, and Harpies are going to pile in. That's just a dead Felbat straight up, and meanwhile the Crows of Cain will take out this other one. Dark Riders are going to take a fight with Scurvy Dogs, and they'll win that fight on the charge for sure, but there are 2 Scurvy Dogs and 2 Animated Hulks over here, all trying to deal with the same Dark Rider, so it'll be a tough time. Vampire Fleet Lady does chuck out her first gunnery mob, and a Burning Head will go down the line, trying to take out some chaff and wound the Depth Guard a little bit, but I think overall it's going to be fine. First of the Felbats are dead. Dark Elves are off to a very small damage value lead. We'll see how it goes. The Dark Rider was overwhelmed on the side, and these Dark Shards are about to suffer the same fate, but Shades are turning around to fire into the mess, and Death Guard with polearms have pushed through the Bleak Swords, but this is a huge loss for the Dark Elves on that side. As far as the other side goes, Dogs have also pushed through these Dark Riders. It looks like one of the Dogs died in the process. Shades are still firing in. The Lamprey's Revenge are entirely dead, which is a pretty huge win for Trigger, but can he defend this backline as Depth Guard with polearms are fighting the Cold One Knights and just doing a ton of damage, plus the Pistol Mobs helping them out as well. Supreme Sorceress of Fire is just chilling, vibing in the center, but I don't think there is going to be enough to defend the backline as the coast is just ripped through everything the Dark Elves had in the front, and now we've lost many Dark Shards. Shades aren't looking so hot. It's brutal. Shades are stuck in melee combat with Dogs and Animated Hulks, while the Crows of Cain are trying to help peel some things off. It's not going particularly well for them, and the Supreme Sorceress of Fire is really trying to fight the Vampire Fleet Admiral. Vampire Fleet Admiral is actually a better melee combatant, so Strat Game might just want to take that. Yeah, Strat Game just might want to take that. Scurvy Dogs getting mulched by the Crows of Cain. We do have a Burning Head cast, but it misses from Trigger. Very unfortunate, and Dark Shards are still trying to fight this Zombie Gunnery mob. Looks like that's going to be fine. Animated Hulks are pushing through the Shades. Dark Elves are in really bad straits right now. They will peel off these Scurvy Dogs, maybe save some Shades, but it's just not, it's not enough. There's still 3 Depth Guard, one of which is extremely injured, but it could get Invocation to Heck and be fine. Balance of Power is extremely favored for the Vampire Coast, and I would tend to agree. That is going to be a GG. The Bleak Swords got trashed on way faster than I thought they would. Like, the front line ceased to exist as soon as the fight started, which is wild. Bleak Swords still trying to fight out there with the summons, but it's not going to work out. They will get routed off. And Dark Elves are trying to rally on the backside, but man, look at how healthy these Depth Guard are. Just look at them out there. Still have 2 Animated Hulks chasing off all these routing units edge of the map. It's not as close as I thought, but it's still plenty close. And these Depth Guard will beat all the Bleak Swords. That's GG. When we loaded up, I really liked the build on appearance, but I just did not think the Bleak Sword frontline would die that quickly. Especially because it was like 3 Depth Guard and a bunch of pistol mobs versus Bleak Swords. And all the Animated Hulks were off on the flanks, but the center collapsed super fast. Which I thought without the Animated Hulks supporting the center fight, the Bleak Swords would hold a while and allow stuff to shoot, but it just didn't. So ranged doom stacks don't work as well in PvP, Sag? Oh yeah. Not usually. I think for Trigger, they have so many armor-piercing missiles they could probably cut the Cold One Knights. Because the Cold One Knights are anti-large armor-piercing, but other than that, they're just expensive. So if you cut them and get 2 Dark Riders, that would probably be better. Yeah, they got 400 value. I don't know. Because the only thing that they're like really good against is crabs, and the crabs are just going to get shot to death. Shades got about 800 value piece till that last one. Harpies did okay. Dark Shards got murdered. Bleak Swords did okay, but they got pushed through really quickly. Handbows would have been decent too, true. Caster did well for Strat. Lamprey's Revenge got murdered. Depth Guard did great. Dogs did overall well. Animated Hulks did overall quite well. Felbats died. And the Zombie Gunnery mobs did overall quite well if you consider that they're 300 gold. So that's 1,200 gold spent in about 1,500 value back, so yeah, they did all right. Strat game awaits, and I have to give Hazel Basil some lunch. Yeah, I have to go give Hazel some lunch, so BRB. Let's see. Do I see like Cal Harmon versus Bird? No, I do not. I was just in the strat game. Why does it not have a spectator slot? There we go. It's just a bug. Just a bug. I'll invite you. Okay. So we do have a game with Bird somewhere. Okay, we are going to game 3. So we're going to pop in on the other best of 3. Butcherbird won Bretonnia versus Bretonnia Wood Elves, where Bird was Bretonnia, and then Bird lost Greenskins versus Dwarves. All right, Cal Harmon sent me a message. Meep, meep, meep. It says head turn, so I think the last time we played was the head taker tournament thing. I don't know. ODM Cal Harmon on Empire versus Butcherbird's Beastmen. I'll go with Crowfather since that's his name. Oh yeah, and Cal Harmon's name is long as fuck. There, we got it to fit. I imagine we'll get some War Wagon gaming. Wow, only one War Wagon. Cal Harmon's playing pretty conservative. Homeboy, you hated my Skaven build? I did. Love your streams, man. Thanks, Bin Bag. Bin Bag. I did, Strat, I think you played very well. Very, very well with your build, and you barely won. And I think that is indicative of the build strength, to be not to be fair, but in my opinion, which it's just an opinion. You can disagree if you want, that's fine. But like, you outgunned Trigger significantly, and yet Trigger walked away with their front line to try and fight with you at ranged for longer, which I thought was odd. And then also they threw their Longmas away, and their second summon was wasted. And then it ended up being a close game. And like, the only mistakes I can point out for you were like, you overextended with your globes a little bit and they got shut down. So like, your opponent made more mistakes and it was a close game, in my opinion, which is why I would think that, like, I don't know about that build. And I did mention, I mean, if you watched the replay, then, not the replay, but if you backed up the stream or you were listening, then I would say just cut a dog, cut plague, and get 4 Skaven slaves. And then you have something to just stop the Jade Warriors from walking at your globes the entire game. I don't know. Because it's close. I just like having 0 infantry in that build is tough. But hey, like, you do you. Like, again, it's just, like, expressing an opinion. And over, like, keyboard, I mean, you say fair, so it doesn't seem like you're too mad. But some people can get really upset if, like, you offer any criticism, and it's like, all right, I can also be wrong. Like, they're just opinions. But it's way less cool. True. The strat game classic, no infantry builds. The wolf rats were neat. I will say the wolf rats did a lot more than I thought they would on paper. I thought Jade Warriors having, like, the Jade Warrior Crossmen having 80 armor would really fuck with them. And it looks like they kind of did, but they also didn't do that much damage back, so you could just pull your wolf rats away. And then it was nice to chase things down. Trigger! I was just busy shit-talking you. Talking mad shit. How you doing, friend? All right, Cal Harmon's build's mostly set up. I'm going to cover that while Bird still figures out some of his stuff. We have a Huntsman General, butt naked, on the ground. No special things whatsoever. Bright Wizard with only Burning Head, not even Kindle Flame. Very unique. Very unique. Triple Huntsman is good. Hellblaster Volley Gun, I like it in this matchup, but I don't see a lot of other people doing that. Pistolier, triple Reichsguard. Yeah, triple Reichsguard. Quadruple? No, one Empire Knight. There it is. I was getting really confused. One Empire Knight, triple Reichsguard, a front line of spears and swords, and then one War Wagon. Interesting. Did you say I played like shit? No. I said you made more mistakes. In the Cathay Skaven game, I said you made more mistakes than your opponent. That doesn't mean you played like shit. It just means you made 3 mistakes I could identify, and Strat made 1. Which, like, mistakes happen. I mean, I lost round 1. Clearly, I made mistakes too. It's a lot easier to sit and watch and point out mistakes than it is to play without making mistakes. For Butcherbird, we have 2 Centaurs, 2 Tuskor Chariots, 2 more Centaurs, so 4 Centaurs, 3 Tuskor Chariots, a Manticore, Torox, the Brass Bull, Bray Shaman of Wild with Traderkin and Bray Scream, a fuck ton of Gore Herds and Ungore Spearman Herds, some of which are the Arwars, some are not. So it's an infantry and cav just push straight up rush as the Hellblaster Volley Gun is destroying one of the Tuskor Chariots, and the Huntsman General is also helping out with that. Meanwhile, the Manticore is going to start poking him around, but if he's anything like Marcus Wolfhart, he will be completely fine with what is going on. The War Wagons get into melee. The War Wagons decide to not be in melee anymore, and they walk away, starting to shoot backwards at the Tuskor Chariot, and a Burning Head is going to come out from Cal Harmon. The Beastman frontline is taking a beating. Now, Reichsguard Knights. Are these Reichsguard or Empire? Reichsguard. Reichsguard are surrounding the Feral Manticore and Torox the Brass Bull. Torox will be fine, but the Manticore could actually take a lot of damage here because Reichsguard are buff boys. Beastmen are pouring through the front line, getting onto the Huntsman. Only one Huntsman is left unencumbered for now, but Empire Knights will countercharge into Centaurs and do quite well there as Reichsguard are running forward to bail out some of these Spearmen. Pistoliers are still kiting away, and the Hellblaster Volley Gun is firing at something. It's still firing at the wounded Tuskor Chariot, trying to make sure it never comes back ever again. More Tuskor Chariots are going to pile in against the Reichsguard, and it looks like we have a Traderkin coming out. Traderkin did get nerfed as to how it pertains to cavalry. It does a lot more versus single entities now, but it's still alright. And the Reichsguard are dissuaded from staying any longer, so they're going to start to pull away. War Wagons are firing at Torox Brass Bull. Hellblaster Volley Gun's firing at Torox Brass Bull, and he's taking a pretty good amount of damage as the Empire takes a pretty significant lead on the balance of power. The Reichsguard charge over here looks like it did well considering their full health, and the Centaurs are not anymore. Pistoliers do have to get pulled away. It looks like they are going to be left in the dust. The Centaurs will charge into them for now. We have Huntsmen firing while moving, trying to help out a little bit, but it's not going to be enough as the Reichsguard do need to be rallied over here. Hellblaster Volley Guns are firing point-blank range at Torox. He's down to about half HP. More Reichsguard in the backfield are just trying to fight and keep these Huntsmen online in some capacity. War Wagons are also stuck up in melee combat a bit. We have more Empire Knights on the back chasing around Centaurs. The Beastmen front line is in disarray, but their back line, as usual, is doing quite well, which is how the faction probably should operate. More Centaurs piling onto the Pistoliers as these other Centaurs are pushed off by Reichsguard, but nice job avoiding the Reichsguard over there. But a Burning Head from Cal Harmon. It looks like it was undercast. Just going to do a little bit of tickle damage, but not a whole lot of actual damage. Hellblaster Volley Gun is firing in onto the Torox Brass Bull, though he has stopped taking damage, so it looks like it's been missing, and the War Wagons have been shooting at something else this time. It is going to get shut down, and if that gets shut down, the bounce power will swing pretty massively into the Beastman's favor. Doesn't mean it's over. I just think the Empire's bounce power advantage relied heavily on a full health, full ammunition Hellblaster Volley Gun being around. Now it's almost dead. War Wagons need to start kiting away. They have been in here for a little bit too long. Cal Harmon nearly needs to rally around his Reichsguard. As I was going to say, it looks like there's last hope of strength, but that's an Empire Knight. 2 Reichsguard are almost dead. 1 is still healthy, and the War Wagons are going to kite away. Reichsguard are stuck fighting Centigors. As Torox bullies around one of the War Wagons. Where's the Huntsman General? There he is. He's just out here, around, chilling. Spearmen fighting Gore Herds. That's the same. Burning Head seems hot today. It hasn't done anything in this matchup. I don't know about it without Kindle Flame or anything. Cal Harmon, always fun to watch. Love his builds. Yeah, he's not a memer, but he does take like pretty off meta stuff and make it look pretty good. So it's always fun to enjoy. Cal Harmon. Flying Taco, Crabling are players that do that type of stuff that are super fun to watch. Exceeds my skill for sure. Yeah, what's going on? How's the 2.3 patch? 2.3 patch is disappointing in my opinion. And this is a land battle tournament hosted by the ODM guys. I'm just casting it since I was around. Huntsman General has tons of ammunition, but not a lot of space to really use it. Looks like he's firing every so often at the Tuscarora Chariots, but that's about it for him. Reichsguard are currently surrounding Torox the Brass Bull and doing their best to get anything done, but it doesn't look like they're doing a lot of damage to the poor guy, especially with Brass Body popped. Hellblaster Volley Gun team is back. Can they get back onto their mount? Who knows? Overcast damage hurts the Prey Shaman Wilds, but it did pretty good damage versus the Spearmen and Swordsmen, so I guess we take those. And War Wagons plus Pistoliers are trying to shoot Torox and Centigors. Huntsmen are rallying on the backfield, defending themselves against the Manticore, and the Cal Harmon is still up on damage value. Balance of power is about dead even. As in the backfield, Empire Knights are surrounded by Blackhorns, Ravagers, Centigors, Spears, and Tuscarora Chariots. They will not be long for this world. Hellblaster Volley Gun is back. What does it use its precious time to shoot? Right now, nothing. Then Centigors. Centigors is probably a good call out there because there's stuff you could potentially get obstructed. And with how close this Hellblaster is to a melee fight, you just want to make sure you get any shots off right now. The last healthy Reichsguard, it looks like, is dead unless they're just off my screen. Nope. Last healthy Reichsguard is dead and doomed. So it's all up to the Hellblaster and the War Wagons to carry this. War Wagons have not a lot of ammunition. Hellblasters have a ton, but they're not going to be able to shoot for too much longer. This could be a good burning head angle, because it could peel off the Centigors from the Huntsman General, and then do a little bit of graze damage on these Ungor Spearman herds. We're so low in leadership and HP, the burning head might just rout them. Things starting to look pretty bad for Cal Harmon. He's really working on finishing off Torox, and the Hellblaster Volley Guns get a nasty shot onto him. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Cal plays what he likes. Yeah. Torox starts to muck up the Hellblasters. Will he manual fire? Or will he just rely on the War Wagons to finish him off? But the Beastmen could be in trouble. If Torox dies, they're so low on HP that they could get a mass rout, and that would be a problem. They still have a healthy caster. They outnumber the enemy on the field. They have a relatively healthy Manticore. Relatively healthy Tuscarora Chariot. So they have some tools here, but the balance of power is like dead even, so I can't imagine that if Torox dies, it would feel that good. War Wagons are getting peeled off by these Centigors. Like, maybe they just want to force fire onto Torox and take a little bit of damage for a second, but they need to finish him off, especially because he's killing the Burning Headcaster right now. Huntsman General, stuck in Ungor Spearman herds, is not able to fire at Torox. Nobody's really able to shoot at him just yet. War Wagons get off a pretty huge volley. Hellblaster Volley Guns are still being commanded to shoot him, but they're just not doing it. How do you make unit banners so large? I don't know. I didn't touch the unit banner stuff at all. I usually hold spacebar when I'm casting because I like to see where the models are. And Torox is down! Hellblaster Volley Guns shoot him at point blank range, plus the War Wagons were helping out. Trader King cast is going to go onto the War Wagons. It should actually do pretty good damage to them. A little bit of poke on the Spearman never hurts. Mass Beastman rout is happening now as the Empire holds on. We have some Reichsguard in the distance from Cal Harmon that have come back, and they do need to get into the fight. Now, with the Beastmen leadership problems being such a huge issue, Burning Head is going to be excellent, because if you can even nick stuff, they get that burnt leadership going, the -8 leadership. War Wagon's going to charge into them. War Wagons need to use last their ammo on the Tuscarora Chariots or onto the Manticore, but I think the Empire is in really good spot right now. Just a really, really nice spot. A lot of the Beastman balance power is wrapped up in that Chariot, which is currently getting charged by Reichsguard, so it's not long for this world, and that Manticore, which War Wagons usually delete Manticores as long as they walk away while they're being attacked. They won't take any damage, and they'll do a ton of damage back to the Manticore, so I think Cal Harmon is going to take this game. most likely, I would say. Tuskar Chariots barely clinging to life, but they took a lot of damage since we checked in on them. Their leadership actually dips negative for quite a long time, but they do manage to hold on. There they finally rout. And the Beastmen casters nearby, the Reichsguard will also probably rout soon. But with Huntsman General has a lot of ammunition. The Blackhorn's Ravagers are going to be a bit of a problem. Those are some tanky boys. War Wagon's down to 4 ammunition. They have lost 2 models while the Manticore attacked them, but they shoot it in the face. They're going to kite away. Reichsguard get a nice charge from Calharman onto the Gore Herds, trying to get any damage out. These Reichsguard are also charging. Are those also Gore Herds? Also Gore Herds. Trying to get any damage out. War Wagons rout off the Manticore. They only have 2 shots left. They might just use it into the Manticore. There's not a lot of great targets left for them, so might just want to use it on the Manticore and get it over with. Huntsman General's trying to finish the Brave Shaman of Wilds. So I see another good Torhammer 3 caster. Happy I stumbled over your channel. Well, subscribe, give me $500 million, and then I'll allow you to stay. I'm just kidding. You can do whatever you want. Subscriptions are welcome, but if you don't, it's also okay. My brother messaged me. I'll mark that as unread and deal with it later. Boop. Huntsman General is getting run down by Gore Herds and Ungor Spearman Herds. I wonder if Cal Harmon has another burning head in the tank or not. He does! Oh boy, he does. It's coming. Oh lordy, coming! And that'll probably rout off these guys, and if they rout, maybe these other Gore Herds will rout. Although, are Ungor Spearman Herds? They're expendable, right? Yeah, they're expendable. So them routing won't actually affect the Gore Herd. And we're down to nothing. There's nothing left out here. War Wagon, 2 models, decent amount of health, no ammunition. Huntsman General, good amount of ammunition, no health. Bright Wizard, used a lot of burning heads today. I don't know how many of them are overcast, but he probably doesn't have a lot of winds of magic left in him, maybe 1 or 2 for the entire game. Cal Harmon is taking the fight with the Gore Herd. He's trying to rout it off. Negative leadership for so long, but it rallies. It gets up to 2, but it was a -1 for like 55 years. It's still fighting. It's doing a lot of damage to this Huntsman General in the meantime. They need to get it down, but they can't. They can't get it down. Empire, the Huntsman General's gonna rout. Okay, good. Gore Herd's gone. If they had managed to rout the Huntsman General, that would have been over. Now, one thing he has to worry about is if there's a Traitorkin, this game is doomed. If a Traitorkin gets cast on a Huntsman General, he just straight up dies. The Bright Wizard will take a bunch of damage too. This is a great game. It is a great game. That Torok's death kind of came out of nowhere. GG. It ain't over yet! It ain't over yet, Grieven, though I think Grieven's probably behind. He's probably not live right now, judging by that comment. Huntsman General is starting to kite away. Gore Herd is getting charged by War Wagons. They're still chariots, kinda. They don't do a lot of damage, but they're still chariots. Huntsman's just gotta fire at anything. He's just gotta fire, because a Traitorkin's coming for his ass. Looks like he has attack orders onto the Brave Shaman of Wilds. That is bold. It's definitely the best target, but also he is a foot character, so if you miss, it's tragic. Tuskor Chariot routes off all of a sudden. -7 leadership for this guy. Because he took a big shot for the Huntsman General. He's gone. Empire's up on the damage value. Gore Herds are routing. It's just down to the Blackhorn's Ravagers. They need to dodge the burning head, but they don't quite dodge it. They take a little bit of damage, but they take the burnt leadership debuff. They go negative for a second. Then they rally somehow. They're fighting. If these boys don't break, they could kill everything left here. But now they break, they unbreak. They get back to 28 leadership from -2 all of a sudden. Traitorkin caster's back, and he's casting the Traitorkin! He's casting it! That's gonna end the game for sure! Because it hit all 3 of the big things, and it does a ton of damage to all of them. The Huntsman General's trying to fire off one last shot before he breaks. If he can hit that shot, maybe he can win it, but he does not. He routs, and he dies, and with him dead, everything breaks, and the Beastmen are gonna take it. That's that. GG. Torok's Brass Bull got 1100 value. Brave Shaman got 1200. Manticore just about paid for itself. Ungor Spearman Herds largely got shreked. Gore Herds overall did well. Triple Tuskor Chariot did fine, and Centaurs did well. Huntsman General honestly did not get a lot done. Kind of disappointed in him. I think Marcus Wolfhard's probably just better. Reichsguard did okay. Firecaster did okay. Hellbuster Volleygun did fine. War Wagons did incredible. That's why usually the meta here is probably just take triple War Wagon. As you can see, one got 2,200 value. Pistoliers and Huntsmen struggled a bit. Huntsmen struggled a lot to get their value out. Empire frontline did great. GG, well played to Cal Harmon and Bird. And we're into the finals. Strat game awaits. Strat game versus Butcher Bird. And I have 1 hour left, which is perfect, because I will have to go pick up Grace from the airport then. She doesn't arrive in an hour, I just have to leave, because I have an hour and a half drive to the airport. So, and I like to be there before she shows up in case her plane lands early or some shit. I'm live for the moment. Beastmen seems surrounded when Torox died. Most of the Beastmen infantry are probably routing whatever else. Still GG. Oh! Hi, Grieven. Oh. Yep. Beastmen ended up winning it! Traitorkin. It was coming. All right. Strat game, what does that mean? It's his name. I think he just plays strategy games. It means a game with strategy. Yeah, I gotta save that replay and cast it separate. That was nice. So if anybody is enjoying what you're seeing right now, tomorrow, around the same time as today, depending on what time zone you're in, but around the same time as the stream that started today, we'll be casting the Faction War. Wait, why is Cal Harmon here? Why is Cal Harmon here? Oh, Butcher has to go. All right. So Bird's dropping out. Cal Harmon's advancing, I see. Okay. Anyway, yeah. Faction War tomorrow. Round 1. And on my Discord, which is linked, we do have a predictions bracket. If you are in the Faction War, it's too late to predict. Like, if you're in it. If you're a spectator, totally, sure. You can still guess until the first stream, and then I'll close down the chat. But if you're already predicted, I saved your predictions, don't change them. And if you're in the Faction War, don't predict now, because round 1 is done. I'm going to be casting all his replays. So anybody in the Faction War knows what happens for round 1, and if they submit now, they will automatically get 16 right, which is a pretty huge advantage, so don't do that. But yeah. So, on my Discord, there's a predictions chat where you can go in there, pull up this image, Photoshop it however you can to communicate who you think will win. And yeah. Tomorrow we'll cast all of these first games. And then when the replays are done, we'll cast the round of 16 and the round of 8, and then we'll have the top 4 live for finals. So that should be fun. Fun, fun, fun. Again, check that out tomorrow. I'm sweating and shaking and stuff. Not sure if it's anxiety or sickness. All right. All right. Try to feel better, Bird. I'm sorry. That stuff sucks. Who can stop Void? I don't know. Probably no one. Alright, I don't know what the picks and bans were. But it looks like we have Coast versus Wood Elves. I need to go give the dog lunch, though, so I'll be right back. Come on, Pop. You waited long enough. I'm back. So it's VP versus Wood Elves. Looks like they didn't do all three of their picks. Yeah, they just picked the first game. Sorry, I'm just trying to eat something real quick. Getting a bit of headache. So, I'll have a proper lunch after this, but for the stream's sake, just a granola bar. And then just drinking a fuck ton of juice. I'm not gonna finish this, but still. Alright. Let's get some fucking Wood Elves. They're still setting up. I'm not really going to talk about them because they're going to move around too much. These guys are also moving around. So just giving it a second. Alright. Similar to the game we saw before, I did say Strat Game has like one Vampire Coast build that he slightly alters. 5 pistol mobs instead of 4. 4 dogs still. 4 animated hulks still. Triple depth guard with pole arm still. Lamper's Revenge still. We managed to get a bomber mob in here. And then the Vampire Fleet Admiral pistols with 2 summons. Well, or summon near heal, sorry. Otherwise, same build. The Beastmen vs. Empire game was awesome. It was awesome. It was very, very awesome. I agree. On the other side, for Cal Harmon, we have Drycha and a fuckload of Dryads. Drycha has Pit of Shades in her summon. That's her only thing. 5 Glade Guard, all of which are just naked. None of them are the Hagbane Tips or Starfire Shafts. Triple Glade Riders with Spears, and double Deepwood Scout with Shrift Shiver Shards. And then Wild Riders appearing out of nowhere. So, oh god, this is why I try to wait. So we have 3 Glade Riders overall, 2 Wild Riders overall. God. I thought you were feeding Hazel and not yourself. I fed Hazel and I grabbed a granola bar with my juice on my way over. Alright. Cal Harmon is betting pretty intensely that Strat Game is standing right here. You can see the way his formation is set up. And Strat Game is not standing right there. This is going to be an interesting start. One of the reasons people like these pistol mobs so much is they have fire while moving. Now, they can only fire while they're walking straight forward, but this Glade Rider either has to commit and die or run away and die. So that is a lost Glade Rider for sure. We have Deepwood Scouts going to get run down by dogs almost immediately, and they'll get shot with pistols while they're running, so Calharman's going to have to do something quickly. He did opt for his Glade Rider to go do some damage rather than none and die as it ran away from the pistol mobs, so that was a good play. Meanwhile, we lost an entire Deepwood Scout, it looks like, to these dogs. Okay, they're going to survive a little bit. As the Glade Riders charge in, they'll do a lot of damage to those scurvy dogs, and decent salvaging of a bad situation from Calharman. Drycha and all of her minions are walking over now. The Depth Guard should shred through Dryads like nobody's business, but Animated Hulk taking a side charge from these Wild Riders will be a good start for Calharman as long as he pulls away soon. Glade Guard spam is quite strong into the Vampire Coast. Spamming archers in general is quite good against this faction. Wild Riders are really committing on this far side. They're getting surrounded by dogs and animated hulks and getting shot by pistols on this whole time, but I think this is just a trade. One Wild Rider for everything over here, as Calharman significantly outnumbers everything over here, and he could just concave fire it. I think that's fine. Now, if he can get away with this Wild Rider, that would be ideal, but it looks like it's just not happening with those dogs chasing him down. So that Wild Rider is lost, but on the other side, Strat Game is taking a lot of damage. Where are the War Dancers? Dead. Dead before the game even started. Alright. Dryads going ahead to fight the Depth Guard. Animated Hulks are crumbling away. So are the Scurvy Dogs. Ooh, Crumbling is so strong! Oh my god! Look at how fucking strong Crumbling is! Jesus Christ! How can they manage? They're crumbling so fast! Oh, they're getting shot by actual arrows and actually dying. Crumbling's a joke, hashtag. Anyway, the Wild Riders on the far side did rally. Glade Riders and Spears are also going to rally, so Calharman is overall in a pretty good spot. He's up almost 1,000 damage value, and a lot of his archers are rather healthy. We have big Drycha Pit of Shades onto, like, 2 mobs. Both of them are real. None of them are summons. Alright. Drycha and her little Dryads are pushing through. Now, these Bombers are about to get a ton of value unless these Wild Riders stop them from throwing. It does not look like they're going to be stopped from throwing at all, and an entire Dryad unit is nuked away. Now, a Dryad summon comes up, but again, it needs to go hit the Bomber. Please go hit the Bomber. Meanwhile, Calharman has been kiting away. His Deepwood Scouts are about to get completely fucked up by Lamper's Revenge, and these Glade Guard are also struggling with some things. Scurvy Dog is crumbling, though, so thanks, CA, for those nerfs. Look at it. How can one possibly survive when crumbling? And not crumbling anymore. Archers trying to defend archers against the animated hulks, but all the infantry, except for that one, are over here stopping the coast backline. And meanwhile, this does leave the Wood Elf backline a little bit exposed. Now, if these Scurvy Dogs get taken care of, maybe the kiting would be more effective, but it looks like these guys are just hanging on. I mean, they're crumbling, but that doesn't fucking mean anything. They're negative 34 crumbling, and they're just chilling. Rest of Calharman's forces trying to kite away. It was looking pretty good for him until this happened. Now it's just Strat Game walking at him. Yeah. Glade Riders are surrounding the Vampire Fleet Admiral. Vampire Fleet Admirals are actually quite decent melee combatants, though. 65-45 for stats. So, you'll really need Drycha to come over here and whoop some ass. Strat Game isn't a bad spot, though. While he is about to get a lot of value chasing down all of these archers, it's still not going great for him. Depth Guard are faster than Deepwood Scouts? Oh, they're only 2 speed slower, but still. That's kind of insane. I hate Wood Elves and I hate Kite, but Deepwood Scouts should be faster than 38 speed. Like, I try to be unbiased in these things, and while I hate this unit, it should be faster than 38 speed. That's ridiculous. Okay. So Calharman's kiting around over here, just trying to avoid the undead for a little bit. Meanwhile, these Deepwood Scouts are finishing off these Depth Guard with their 360 firing. They're getting away. Top bar still says Butcherbird. Oh. Yeah, because it was supposed to be him here, and then he had to drop out. I'll fix that in a second, but you're right. Calharman's looking good, though. It's looking like he's in a good spot. Wood Elf still kiting away from all these Depth Guard, doing pretty good damage. Glade Guard needs to stop and shoot at some point. Lamper's Revenge fucked off to make sure these Glade Guard left the map, and now they will. But really, it's about whether strat can effectively get these guys to like come in from 2 different angles to stop the Wood Elves from just kiting that way. It looks like he is. You can see his path is kind of taking him this way to keep hurting them. So if you just go straight at them with nothing to stop them from swooping around here, they're gonna swoop. Crumbling is supposed to be throw. It's supposed to be better than breaking. Yeah, but like people, the multiplayer scene has not been enjoying that. Like whether that's the intention, it's unfun. I have talked about this kind of sometimes around my bug videos, but like even though they stated that's the intention, it doesn't mean it's a good intention. Like, hey, Chet, your house is on fire. Your house is burning down. Yeah, I set it on fire. Okay, your house is still burning down. Like, I think it's a problem. I think it's an unfun mechanic, and I don't think undead factions are balanced. And it doesn't matter that CA wanted that to be true. I can still be upset about it, is how I feel. Yeah. Depth guard just running after him. And dead. Lampert's Revenge is rather healthy, but there are a ton of archers to help deal with that. Animated Hulks getting peeled off by Dryads and Wild Riders. Now, they will probably finish off this Wild Rider and get rid of it, but those are 2 very healthy Dryads that should be able to eat up the Animated Hulks. Animated Hulks aren't really that great at bumping and grinding with infantry. Meanwhile, the caster is fighting Drycha, but Drycha loves getting into melee fight. 80 melee attack, and it's only going to get better for her as she gets more damage. The Vampire Fleet Admiral will not have such a good time, and there is Dryad support nearby. Cal Harmon has this game locked up, I think. Unless the Lampert's Revenge does something silly, but I don't think they will. Another zombie summon comes out from Strat Game, trying to keep his caster alive, keep grinding through some of these Depth Guard, but... sorry, not Depth Guard, the Deckhands bumps. But Army losses hits, and that is a rare win for the Wood Elves. And 1-0 to Cal Harmon. To be fair, Depth Guards are vampires, so they should be stronger, maybe faster than regular Elves. I forget that Depth Guard are vampires. Okay, that makes a little more sense then. Never mind. I still think Deepwood Scouts should be a little faster, though. Would you recommend making Crumbly do more damage? Get rid of it and replace it with something else? If you've seen Depth Guard armor, they have no right to outsprint an elf. Depth Guard, we're just spending the entire game walking after elves. So they didn't really get a lot of value off. Dogs did pretty well. Animated Hulks did pretty well. Bombers did okay. Pistol mobs did great, but they got lekited. Deepwood Scouts did awesome. Dryads did a lot better than I would have thought. The Wild Riders and the Glade Riders, I mean, they're not going to get a lot of value, but their importance was stopping things from getting to the archers. So they did well, even if their value isn't going to show it. And Drycha did great. That's the type of kite game I enjoy. That was like, I mean, I'm sure it wasn't super fun for the Vampire Coast, but I enjoyed watching that kind of kite game. The kite games that I rant about and really hate are ones where nothing happens for the first, 10 minutes of the battle. But that was a fun kite game, in my opinion. But yeah. What would I do about crumbling? I don't know. And also, to whoever out there who was that? Jabol. Crumbling is supposed to be slow. It's supposed to be better than breaking. Yeah, like, that's fine. It's fine to have that opinion. I have a different opinion. I have a different preference, but, like, it is just an opinion in the end. So don't, like, just because I disagree with you doesn't mean, like, I don't know. I don't like crumbling. That doesn't mean you can't. What I would have crumbling do? I would just have it do more damage, yeah. Not a ton. I don't think it has to be demonic instability levels, but I think it has to matter. And that's the problem right now, is crumbling doesn't matter. They can keep lowering the leadership on undead units. It doesn't matter. Because the mechanic, like, you're getting him to this useless mechanic faster, in my opinion. Like, Crypt Horrors are going to heal cap. They, like, things out-heal crumbling is the problem. Mostly on the Vampire Counts roster, and a little bit on the Tomb Kings, so the Tomb Kings did take a pretty significant nerf. So honestly, crumbling is in a fine spot for the coast. and it's in a fine spot for the Tomb Kings after all the nerfs. The problem with the Counts specifically, and why Crumbling is such a big talking point for them, is Counts have like 3 different healing auras on their roster. Different. They have multiple sources to get those auras. There's 3 different ones that can all stack. They have a lot of units with self-regeneration. Then they have spells with regeneration. And then they have, when they cast spells, they get global regeneration. So for their faction, Crumbling just isn't a thing. You're almost always out healing it with every single unit. Right? So that's why a lot of people don't like Crumbling and they talk about it a lot. It's mostly focused around the vampire counts. Mostly. Because Coast and Tomb Kings don't have as many healing auras to really make it that noticeable that Crumbling isn't doing anything. Mostly. Coast is strong right now because Depth Guard are strong if you can get into melee, that we just saw Cal Harmon very effectively kite them. Coast is strong because Animated Hulks got down to 500 gold, giving them monstrous infantry. For once, Coast is strong because 300 gold pistol mobs are apparently strong, like... Oh, and bombs. Bombs explosion damage, how it currently works, it does a lot of damage to Coast are strong, but Coast aren't strong because of constant regenerating or heal capping. That was more of Tomb Kings and Vampire Counts bit. And Tomb Kings actually took a pretty significant nerf, so now it's just Counts. Is why Crumbling makes so many people, including me, salty. So if the Counts didn't have nearly as much healing accessible to them, and healing that's for free, people would shut up about Crumbling. But, yeah. Foot cut is usually pretty okay. Scrolling back the way it was in Warhammer 2, it was fine there. See, I changed too much shit from Game 2 to Game 3 for zero reason except hey. Yeah. What if they made it reduce damage output from a Crumbling unit? That could be fine. I do hope they don't do too much at once. You know, where like Crumbling does more damage, and your unit does less stuff, and lower their leadership, and just make undead stuff trash. Because I try to keep reminding people, we are sick of the undead meta in the competitive multiplayer scene, but at the end of Warhammer 2, only Vampire Counts was competitive. Tomb Kings, only like real Tomb King specialists said Tomb Kings were good. Most people struggled with them. Most people struggled with Coast outside of Double Gunnery White and Bats, right? So like, undead, it used to just be Counts that were strong, right? So I don't want to go back to those days where it's like Tomb Kings or Vampire Coast or a niche specialist pick. Like, I like seeing factions be healthy, but healthy is the key word, and I think they went from being borderline garbage to way too strong. So they just got to work on that. Tactical Itch is in the chat. Wood Tear's in the chat. 2 fellow content creators. Wood Tier is rather newer as far as I know, and Tactical Itch has been here forever and deserves more subs than he gets. So both of you can feel free to plug your channels. That's why I gave you the blue wrench, so you can post links and stuff. Feel free to do that. Whenever, like, Wood Tier and Lich, just so you know, whenever you pop into my stream, you can plug your own content. I try to mention it whenever you pop up, but if I forget, just like do that. If I don't want you to do that, I'll tell you to stop. But if I give you the blue wrench, it's usually because I allow you to post stuff because you're cool. That is a very unfounded worry. VP was good in late Warhammer 2 because of the meta factions. That's fair, Hanadins, but I still think it was mostly specialists that could make them good. I don't think, like, a random could just lock in Vampire Coast in a quick battle and be strong, right? Alright, armies are mostly set up, so I'm going to start casting those now that they're not moving around. For strat game, we have an unholy infantry swarm of mostly gore herds with a couple ungors on the sides and some RORs mixed in there. We have centaurs with great weapons. 2 of them to fight the dwarves. Oh, the dwarves. Oh, alright. We have 2 Tuskor chariots, Morgar the Shadowgave, plus a Bray Shaman of Beasts with only Manticore Summon and double Manticore, and a Bestigor herd in the very far back. Forgot them. Yeah. I guess to see Crumbling units like Crypt Horrors continuing to put a bunch of damage feels more annoying than having them just be a tar pit. Yeah. Alright. For the Dwarves of Cal Harmon, we have a whole bunch of Dwarf Warriors, Ironbreakers, Ekron's Miners. Haven't seen Ironbreakers in a long time. We do have some Slayers mixed in here, so it's just a whole lot of layering of Dwarves. Cannons, and Longbeards with great weapons and Slayers in the back. So Cal Harmon almost always takes Belegar. I really haven't seen him take Thoric Ironbrow too much. As we mentioned earlier in the stream, Cal Harmon's just kind of the sort of player that plays what he wants and makes it work. Strat game is also that way, honestly. Strat game isn't super meta usually. He has his own way of building things. And since Thoric's been OP, I've never seen Cal Harmon take him. So, I don't know. These are two players that just rely on hands more than meta stuff. And Cal Harmon's dwarf builds always look like this. He hardly ever boxes. He just has layers and layers of stuff. Maybe further leadership debuff counts then? To have less leadership in tabletop than Tomb Kings? Maybe. But right now I just think that, like, it doesn't... They're always crumbling anyway. The problem is that crumbling just doesn't do any damage, so they sit near their 1,000,000 regen auras and regen up, but... Yeah. So Cal Harmon's cannons are teeing off right now onto random infantry. They probably want to shoot the chariots. The chariots are currently in trees, so there's not a lot there for them to do. Strat Game does get his Manticore straight into the miners right away. He wants to stop them from when they're throwing their blasting charges. And again, he gets his Centaurs. Really nice rear charge. Snuck right through the area here. Now Slayers are getting onto them, but he just wants to stop the miners from throwing onto his front line for as long as possible. Though this is going to be a tricky one. Centaurs are great weapons. They're 1,200 gold, so you really don't want them getting chopped down by Slayers like this. And it looks like they are getting butchered a little bit. Strat Game is going to pull away. One of his Manticores is rampaging. Meanwhile, a Gore Herd. Oof, a Gore Herd is 600 gold. It's going to get pushed off over there. Blackhorn's Ravager's taking a lot of damage from the blasting charges. Cal Harmon takes an early lead, but Dwarves and Skaven, while mortal enemies, also are kind of similar in many ways, one of which is the first second or two of the game is going to go extremely Dwarf favored due to blasting charges, due to cannons, due to Quarrelers. It's the grind that can be tough for them. Now, they're better than Skaven at the grind, but they still want to be ahead at the start of the game, and they are. It's just, can you stay ahead? Can you stay ahead? Third Manticore is out. This one is a summon. I wonder where it'll go, as Brave Shaman of Beast is also going to stop these miners who have all the blasting charges from throwing. Now, Quarrelers try to get away, but the Centaurs are great weapons of Strat Game are back on the back line, hitting these miners with blasting charges, really stopping them from throwing. His focus has been singular on stopping the blasting charges, but so far it has gone okay for him. Now, Be'lakor is chopping the shit out of this poor Manticore that is now rampaging in the middle of Slayers. It is going to die for sure. But we have Morgar on the field, and Morgar has 2 Chaos Spawn in the back pocket, one of which is involuntary, one is voluntary. We haven't seen either, so there is that to remember. Meanwhile, Ungar Herds and Gore Herds are chopping into Dwarf Warriors. Though lacking the real armor piercing, they will struggle with that. Bastigore Herd is in here with half HP already, and we have some Gore Herds forgotten by Strat Game. One was routed, but the other one is just forgotten, unfortunately. He does need to get in here and deal with that. Now, his attention is elsewhere, understandably so. He's got Centaurs, he's got Manticore, he's got single entities, he's got Chariots, all this stuff trying to do things. That's what makes this playstyle hard. Chaos Spawn Summon, the involuntary one, shows up, it looks like. Yep, he still has the voluntary summon if he needs it. Cannon is getting shut down. Other cannon is already routing. Belagar has rallied the right flank. The right flank is doing very, very well, but the left flank and the center have entirely collapsed for the Dwarves, and the Beastmen are running rampant over them for now. Who is Wood Tier? A YouTuber. Yeah, relatively new to our scene. Seems like a cool guy. I checked out a couple of his videos. I don't watch a ton of Warhammer content because I'm usually making it, so then the last thing I want to do in my free time is watch Warhammer content, but the little bit I have watched, he seems nice. His content's fun. Alright, cannons getting pushed off. The left flank collapse is complete as everything over here is either routing or dead, and Belagar just needs to reunite his troops on the right side and try and win the whole game off of them, but that does seem unlikely because remember, there's another Chaos Spawn sitting in this guy's pocket. I don't know, that's a lot of filthy unwashed beastmen running around. A full health Gore Herd. 2 pretty healthy chaff. Best Gore Herd at 1/3 HP. Centaurs running around. This map isn't great for Dowie. True. That is true. Cyrus is messaging me what do you want. Anyway, I don't know if the Dwarves can pull this out, you guys. They're relying on a lot of Slayers to do great work. Oh yeah, there's Ironbreakers. I forgot there was Ironbreakers in this game. That probably explains why the right flank went so well. These guys are just holding. So we have 2 units of Slayers, one of which is Dragonback. We have Longbeards with great weapons, Ironbreakers, another unit of Slayers, and Belagar's rather healthy. Versus the entire Beastmen army. This is a brand new Chaos Spawn summon, so it will eventually fade. And actually, that could be an issue. Is without the other Chaos Spawn summon, knowing that that is the last one, I mean, what? Is this going to be enough Beastmen to beat all these guys, especially the Ironbreakers? Bestigor herds just got pushed off. They got creamed. And even without Thoric Ironbrow giving you perfect vigor and giving you all these buffs and everything, I mean, like, Ironbreaker's going to be tough. It's going to be a lot on Strat Game's Chariot usage. His Chariots will have to carry the rest of this game. Both his Manticore summons are gone. Both his Chaos Spawn summons are, one's gone, one's being used right now. I don't see the natural Manticores anywhere, so they both must have died. It's just going to be about whittling down these Slayers with Chaff and cycle charging the Longbeards and Ironbreakers with Tuskor Chariots. You're invited to pop by and share your wisdom and comments to help me and whoever's new to multiplayer. Wood tier viewers are viewers. Doesn't matter if they can learn from you or not, it's just fun. Now, these Longbeards have been taken down. Strat Game's use of the Tuskor Chariots has made sure of that. Meanwhile, there's some Dwarf Warriors out in the distance that are about to get crumped by... Ooh, those are Ungors? They'll still lose, but they'll lose less bad. I thought those were Gores because of how they were spread out at the moment. Belagar is whooping Morgar's ass, so Morgar's going to have to fuck off for a bit. Thankfully, he does have regen for Strat Game's sake, and for the sake of a Game 3, which I think we all want. I think we all want a Game 3. So we're rooting for the Beastmen here. I do like a rare Dwarf victory without Thoric Ironbrow, but I also like Game 3s. Woo! There is a second Manticore. I thought he had used both of them. All right, second Manticore's out. That's very strange. Okay, that looked odd. Manticore's back in it. Full health Ironbreaker. Triple Slayers, all feeling their age these days, but unbreakable will fight to the last, and these Longbeards will soon be gone also. Ungors did chase off those Dwarf Warriors. There's a lot more chasing going on. Centicore's great weapon still running around. Sun's getting real low. Can you open the faction war table and name best player currently for every faction and land, in your opinion? Would be interesting. I can do that if there's a build period in the next game, yeah. If Strat Game loses this and the Dwarves win and then we're not going to a Game 3, it probably won't because I should go get Grace from the airport. Also, a lot of those answers are going to be void. Alright, Belagar is fighting with the Destroyers of Drakwold forever. Blackrun's Ravagers are also in here. The Manticore summon has 7 seconds left to live. A crap ton of Slayers are still here and fought in. It looks like we're down to 2 Slayers. The other one is dead, and that is an Ironbreaker. The healthy thing is an Ironbreaker. Manticore's gone. Balance power is still in the Beastman favor, but a little less so without that 800 gold Terror Piece. We do have a Gore Herd. Should get involved. Gore Herds will do great versus Slayers. Their 0 armor means the Gore Herds will just chop them down with their 41 melee attack. Now, they probably won't win the fight versus a Slayer, but they'll trade up, considering they're only 550 to 600 gold. Caradoc only wants your predictions to copy. I mean, Voidlaw is going to be the answer for a lot of them, unless I'm limited to one player, one faction, but... Alright, Tuskor Chariots, doing a lot of damage to Ironbreakers, pulling out, Strat Game, fighting. Do have a bunch of very wounded people over here, and Belagar is scary healthy. He's kind of turned into Sigvald in this game a little bit. Not like in Warhammer 3, but in this specific game. I don't see a whole lot that can kill Belagar. It's just army losses, whether or not they take him. Honestly, those army losses are bullshit right now. We're getting so close to army losses. Belagar's that healthy. Still have some Ironbreakers, though they are getting cycle charged by Tuskor Chariots, but like, Belagar could honestly kill everything here. Yeah, no repeating? Alright, alright. That'd be silly. Belagar's just trying to kill anything he can, trying to keep that dangerous balance of power at bay. Tuskor's taking a lot of slapping. I like, honestly, if everything was unbreakable, I think the Dwarves might have it. But that army losses is starting to get real bad. One player, one faction's nonsense. I'm the best Beastman. Bretonnian greenskin player. So the Slayers are getting whittled down. Ironbreakers are also getting whittled down. They're fighting their best with these Gore herds. Dragonback Slayers plus Belagar are going to push off the Blackhorns Ravagers, but they really need to get over here and get involved in the single entity fight. And it looks like that is what they're going to do, because you got to lay down some serious hurt on this Bray Shaman Beast. What's fucked up is Morgur and the Bray Shaman Beast are both counting unrealistically large on the balance of power, because the Bray Shaman Beast has no spells left. Like, he has Winds of Magic, but he has no spells. He used both his Manticore summons. And Morgur used both of his summons, but the game still treats him as if he has them. So a lot of the balance of power is like, I don't know, what if 4 more Chaos spawn and 6 more Manticores appear? And it's like, the dwarves are just sitting there like, that can't happen! Bray Shaman Beast gets his ass kicked and he starts to rout. Tuskor Chariots are routing, but we're getting one of those fucking games where no matter how better things look for a faction, they just get closer and closer to army losses. They routed off the Bray Shaman. Tuskor Chariots are getting real low, and the game's like, nah. And he's starting to whoop on Morgur. The game's like, nah. It's just gonna fucking army loss him as he's kicking tons of ass. Ironbreakers are gonna rout. Slayers are still fighting. Beastmen are starting to rout in every direction. Morgur's heel cap is coming in. Tuskor Chariots getting real low, and the game's like, fucking nah, bro. It's gonna do it. It's gonna army loss him. It's army lossing him for no reason. Oh my god. I don't know why that happens so much, but it does. There's these certain games where it feels like, you know, Mr. Magoo at CA decided, fuck it, the Beastmen win this one. And no matter what you do in the game, it's like, no, the balance of power just gets worse. And it's like, listen, I took their shaman from 3/4 HP to 1/4 HP and he's routing. No, the Beastmen win this one. I took half of Morgur's HP and he's heel capped. No, the Beastmen win this one. We took the Tuskor Chariots down to like, no thanks. No! The Beastmen win this one! Get out of here! Just, no matter what he did, I didn't care. It was like, nah, fuck you, dude. Oh my god. That was so dumb. It was a really good and a really close game, but that army losses was just dumb. It was like, fuck it. We don't care anymore. Bray Shaman didn't get any value, but that's because the Manticore summons don't actually count towards his value, so grain of salt. Morgur did fine. Bestigors did okay, but they mostly got killed. Centaurs were really, really good. The other Manticores didn't quite pay for themselves either, but they were decent disruption pieces. Tuskor Chariots did excellently. They were very well microed. Gores and Ungores did what they had to, and it was good. Belagar did great. Ironbreakers did really well. All 3 Slayers did awesome. Cannons, someone was mentioning in chat, and I probably agree. They weren't doing great here, but maybe Cal Harmon didn't know the map specifically. Maybe it's just important to force the Beastmen into you rather than let them fuck around forever and get a perfect surround. Could be either thing. Quarrelers did okay, but they got shut down rather quickly. Miners with Blasted Charges still did well, but Strat Game put a lot into shutting them down, and Dwarf Warriors got murdered. One. Going to game 3. Not taking any spells on 2 casters is plantastic to force the dwarves to army lost. I'm getting a lot of pings from Turin's Discord. What's that about? Oh, is there a Dom tournament today? Yeah, there is. Someone else is hosting it. Alright, so to kill the time while they do their game 3 stuff. FFAQ. Okay, let's look at it. We'll do that as a mini game. Alright, so every faction is on here. Some are on here twice because of how people qualified, but going through every faction and just saying who's probably the best at them, but if I say somebody, I can't say that person again. If we're going to play that little mini game for no reason, sure. Cathay, honestly, Dr. Jellyfish probably is the best one because he's been... Most people don't play Cathay, or they global ban it or something. Dr. Jellyfish plays a good amount of them, so he's probably the best Cathay player at the moment. Bretonnia, probably Butcher Bird or Bowman. I'm going to go with Bird. Probably Bird. Bird's weird. He has some weird builds, but he plays them well, so works. Empire. I would say Blood Penguin. Blood Penguin, I think, is better at other things. It's maybe Scroot. Maybe Scroot right now. Empire's also not played a lot. Dwarves, I'd say Cal Harmon. Though Pink Pony Knight is kind of a one trick. He usually just plays dwarves, but man, he plays them well. I'll still go with Cal Harmon. Lizardmen, tough. Not a lot of people play him. Probably Incarnation. Incarnation has this really toxic, annoying build, but he is good at them. Kislev. I don't know, because I want to use Blood Penguin elsewhere. There's another faction that he's definitely the best at that's not Kislev. Maybe Golden Floof. Golden Floof's pretty good at Kislev, out of the players I know. High Elves, the Phoenix King. He's not on this list because he wasn't playing in any of the qualifiers, but the Phoenix King is the best High Elf player right now, I think. Him or Black Knight, but probably Phoenix King. Wood Elves, Zyphos. Zyphos doesn't play much right now, but when he does, he plays really well. VC is Void Laws for sure. Ogres, I still think Will Francesco F is the best Ogres player. I was really impressed with him. He's newer, but he's really good at Ogres. Tomb Kings, oh god. I don't know. Pass on that one for now. Dark Elves, probably Tretch, ODM Tretch. Greenskins, I guess Cool Umbrella is a good shout. There's not a lot of Greenskin players right now, though, so it's tough. Tomb Kings, there's a lot of Tomb Kings players, but I'm using them elsewhere. Vampire Coast, probably Strat game. Probably Strat game. Skaven, I guess maybe me. Maybe. I don't know. Again, not doubling up on people, because Void probably could play better than me on Skaven, but we're only using one thing, so... Out of people not used yet, I guess me. Chaos. I haven't used Hanadins yet. I'll go with Yumi. Yumi on Chaos, because Hanadins is Zinch for sure. Great Zinch player. Schnaz, probably the best Nurgle player, yeah. Schnaz or John FB, actually. John FB is really good at Nurgle. Yeah. I'll still say Schnaz, though I remember John played them a lot. Korn is what I was saving Blood Penguin for. Blood Penguin's really good at Korn, so I'll put him down there. Slanesh, probably Platypus. Demons of Chaos, Hanadins plays a shitload of them, but I already think he's a better Zinch, so... I don't know. Probably Kiara still. She stopped playing, but she used to play a lot of them. I guess I don't really have a good answer for that one. Norska, Tomb Kings, and Beastmen. Razel's probably the best Beastman player. Norska... I don't know. Sir Groot is a really good player. I just don't know what factions he mains these days. I guess I'll put Sir Groot on Norska and like Yumi on Tomb Kings or something, because Yumi deserves a shout out. I just don't know what faction is actually like their best. But Yumi's good. Like Yumi has a lot of toxic builds and people don't really like them, but Yumi is factually good. I don't know. I got through most of them. Norska, God, I don't know anybody that really plays Norska right now. Probably Trader. Trader GG. He hasn't been playing recently, but when he did play, he played really good Norska. So, yeah, Trader. And then I think that's everybody. I think Turn is a really good Empire player. He hosts a lot, so he has less games. That's domination mode, though. We're talking about land battles. Oh, that's right. Pantalonate exists. I haven't seen him for a while. That's the hard part, is just doing it all off the top of your head. Someone say Norska? Yeah. All right. Oh, God, Strat. All right, last game of the day. Lizardmen versus Warriors of Chaos. What would you say? Maybe the Demons of Chaos player? Fair enough. Oh, yeah. Okay. Wild takes, I'm going to say. Shush, Loopy. I did the best I could off the top of my head. People need to get over not liking builds. Yeah. This term is still going on. This is the last game. Wood tier. Got hopes and dreams. I gave human boy yes, yes, money, and all mine came true. Coincidence? Nah. Yeah. Alright, for Warriors of Chaos and Strat game, we have double dogs on each side, Chaos Warhounds and some with poison. We have 6 Skirmish Cav, Marauder Horsemen, and Horsemasters. The Horsemen have throwing axes. We have double Giant. We have Festus the Leech Lord. We have double Exalted Heroes of Nurgle, and this is actually a rule break because you can only have 4 single entities these days, but we'll see if Hanadins cares. It's not my tournament. I'm just hosting it. Like, I'm the talky talk, but I'm not actually the tournament's organizer. And yeah, so it's a Festus giant blob with a bunch of skirmish cabin dogs. On the side of Cal Harmon, we do have skink skirmishers currently being run down by dogs. We have skink cohorts with javs, a bunch of feral cold ones. We have some ripperdactyl riders up in the sky. Saurus warriors do some bumping and grinding. Cold one spear riders and feral cold ones and spear riders. Salon mage priest of life with only dwellers below plus his bound spells, and then Saurus spears. Also, Strat Game committing really hard with this skirmish cabin melee, like Jesus Christ, and they get punished for that. That was a big mistake. Rainless deserves a shout too. Yeah, but he hasn't played in like 4 or 5, 6 months. It's tough. It's tough when I'm only doing one person for each faction, not the same person for each faction, and off the top of my head. Is that even 400 models? Yeah, it is. It's 685. Anyway. Ripperdactyls and Pterodons are going to do a little bit of kiting. Some Saurus Spears might go fight Festus and the Giants because something like has to for a little bit. You just don't want to pile up too much stuff on it. This is a good start for Cal Harmon. He's done a lot of damage to the Chaos Skirmish Cav because they overextended a little bit to fight all those skinks and stuff. Now there's still plenty of it left. But yeah, Giants have so much healing with Festus and Fleshy. Yeah, I mean, Festus can get sniped out if there's any good single entity stuff here, but it doesn't look like there really is. So Festus will be good in this specific build. There's a lot of chameleon skinks and skink skirmishers and skink cohorts all throwing in right now. They don't have the same DPS as archers, but they do all right. They do what they need to. Ripperdactyls fighting Marauder Horsemasters. There are feral cold ones nearby, and Saurus and skinks trying to help out, so it's all about how long can this last. And there's dwellers below on just the single entities. That's a really weird cast from Cal Harmon. You'd think he'd want to use it on any of these skirmish cav blobs. That was a really weird cast. Is there no admin moderating the game? Yeah, he is, but what can he do? What can he do in the middle of the game? Like, he can't shut it down. He can't do anything. Yeah. They have an admin. We just have to finish out the game to deal with it. Yeah. But also, it's kind of a... It's not casual that, like, rules don't matter, but it's kind of like a casual tournament. Like, it's not like this is for $1 million, so... My guess is that no matter who wins, the rule break will probably be ignored by the players. Like, Cal... From what I know of Cal Harmon, he's probably just gonna be like, I don't give a shit. Does Strat have 5 SEs? He does. Yeah, I mentioned that. Which is a new rule. It was in the latest edition of Fruit Rules, which came out, like, Tuesday, so... Shut it down, shut it all down. Yeah. There's a lot of players that don't really care if you break, like, if you break the rules to be an asshole, they'll care. But if it's like an honest mistake, there's a good amount of people that'll just be like, it happens. But we'll see. Golden Spear Riders running down Skirmish Cav. Skirmish Cav from Strat Game have taken a lot of damage. These dogs are also not faring so good. It's just down to Festus and the Giants blob. Lizardmen are running out of ammunition on their big hitters, the skink cohorts with javelins. Their skirmishers still have a good amount of ammo, but they don't do that much damage. What if I bring 10 SE? Yeah, that would not be cool. Coops! Oh my god, you're right. I just realized they still haven't given us in-game chat back, and they said it's coming back in 2023, but they didn't say when in 2023. What if we have to go another year without in-game chat? Replay the entire tournament for competitive integrity? Oh, that means I get a second shot? Fuck yeah! Game chat is toxic. I'm toxic. Why don't they ban me? Where can I find the rules? They're on my Discord. Yeah, they're on my Discord. They're pinned. The rules look more oppressive than they are, though. The only thing you need to know is it's like 30 pages long. You have to remember there's 23 factions in the game, and there's a cheat sheet for every faction that takes up a page. So if you ignore the cheat sheets, the rules are only like 4 pages long. And they boil down to don't corner camp, don't forest camp, and always move the game forward in some fashion, like try to attack something. That's the entirety of the rules. Bring back chat, but only... Yeah, only emojis. Difference between abusing and not catching the changes. I would have taken 5 SEMs also. Yeah. Caradoc for sure. Like, also what I know about strat game is this dude's been playing forever. He has builds he really likes. Like I mentioned earlier, he takes like the same ish Vampire Coast build every game. So he clearly has like set skeletons of builds that he alters. And slight rule changes like max 4 SEs from max 5 is something that's really hard to catch on to. For sure. Strat's not the type of guy that would cheat on purpose. He's chill. Chat's a lot of effort to implement. It's not like they had a chat earlier already. Giants are getting close to heal capped as they get kited by Chameleon Skinks. Meanwhile, Cal Harmon is just taking his time to sweep up the rest of the skirmish cav, make sure it's all gone, make sure it's just a single entity blob left, get all the damage out with his skirmishers that he possibly can, because he does not want to get into a melee fight with a Mortis Engine, double Exalted Hero, Nurgle, and double Giants. Why'd they delete chat in game? They didn't... if they said explicitly, I never saw it, but the community has mentioned it a lot. So this might be a rumor, I don't know. But it was said something about like getting sold on the Epic Games Store. The Epic Games Store had certain things about chat that like it has to be moderated a certain way, and CA didn't have their chat moderated in that way, so it was either fix it or take it out. So they took it out temporarily until they could fix it. Didn't they take down chat to implement a censor? Yeah, but they haven't done it. They haven't implemented the censor yet. But that's one that, like, I legit don't know. There are other people who speak a lot more confidently than I do. Slan is running for its tubby life. Yeah, it's doing its best. They're technically faster, but the problem is that Festus and the Exalted Heroes are going to get left in the dust if they keep chasing the Slan like this without regrouping. What's going on with these Chameleon Skinks, Cal? Why are they fighting an Exalted Hero of Nurgle, Cal? Alright, they're going to start to run away now. Nice. One giant is almost heal capped and down to half HP. Do have some healthy feral cold ones. Ripperdactyls are gonna dive in, try and get some damage onto this Exalted Hero. Looks like they're doing okay, but Festus is gonna come back and heal it up. Being mean is just too much. Yeah. Other Ripperdactyls are charging in on the giants. Giants still getting shot. Riveting gameplay. That's a Warriors of Chaos Nurgle Blob for you. It's been almost a year without chat. They took out Warhammer 2. Yeah. The Dwellers Below being the only thing that Cal brought is interesting, and that he's only using it on single entities, because even when there was multi-entities, he was using it on single entities. And some people are telling me that the patch also nerfed it, so it does less damage to single entities, but that wasn't listed in the patch. I don't even know it did damage to single entities to begin with, so this is all very strange to me. This is all very strange. Sounds like the Epic Games Store is the toxic thing here. Maybe. Exalted Heroes are going to be super hard to kill. They will be super hard to kill. One of the giants is almost dead. Other two are just fine. Is chat in Warhammer 1? No, not anymore, no. Our Revolutionary Chat for the Chat God paid DLC. You'll be able to communicate with other players. Fucking lol. Alright. Oh god, these Chameleon Skinks still have most of their ammo. Oh no. That's pretty funny. Eldrin's happy that the Giants outlived the skirmish cav. For real. How are we doing, Cal Harmon? He's regrouping all of his forces. He has officially run everything off the map except for the 5 single entities. Ripperdactyls are diving in. It looks like they just wanted to get a little bit of damage, but instead they got damaged in the face, and they are now running away. Chameleon Skinks are still throwing. There's no other ranged left. Oof. Oof baboof. One giant's so close to dead. Why Dwellers was so OP, it did 4 AP per second on the AoE and also did like 32 to 64 damage to all SCMs. I think it's 16 and 32 with the nerf. Interesting. Probably not enough ammo to kill the giants, yeah. It might kill one giant. And it doesn't even have to kill him, it just has to rout him. TBH. Hubby, give me the Warhammer 3 Land Battle tier list. I thought I already did. Giants almost dead. Still positive on leadership, though. Another Dwellers below cast. This one onto the Skink Skirmishers. Probably going to do a lot of friendly fire to them. More than it's going to do to these single entities. One giant died. Chameleon Skinks are still firing. Slans around. Chilling. He has Mortis for late game? He does have Mortis for late game. Oh boy, the Nurgle Blob. Feral Cold Ones charge in. They're armor piercing. They are trying to get away before the Mortis rampages them, but honestly, they're probably going to rampage here. Wow, kind of surprised they didn't. Aura of Pestilence, taking its toll on the Ripperdactyls as well. Chameleon Skink still trying to shoot. Harbinger of Pestilence just whittling them down as they start to run away. And kite some more. Calharmon's up on the damage value just slightly, but man, we all know he's getting out-healed. The disappointment below. Probably army losses with giants dying. Maybe. Maybe. Chameleon Skinks are still trying to help. They're still in the Aura of Pestilence, though. I'm a little concerned that they're sitting in the Mortis engine. Now it looks like the Saurus are going to start to kite away and just let the Skinks fight it out. Do have a rather healthy Cold One Spear Rider. I mean, it's theoretically anti-large armor piercing. It could maybe do stuff against the giant, maybe, if they ever get a good charge onto it. Everything else is infantry size, though. Saurus are in. They're now fighting the giant. Chameleon Skinks are starting to get away, but Festus' Mortis engine is mortising. Giant's taking actually a pretty good amount of damage. 7 more volleys from these Cam Skinks left. And we have an overcasted Fecundity. Sorry, Fleshy Abundance. And it did not even trigger the overcast on Festus, so it's just not even a thing. We're all still mentally hurt from the patch. I'm physically hurt from the patch. Giant seal capped, almost. Saurus Warriors are in there, but like, as Coops and some other people, but I think I saw Coops. Coops was saying earlier that like nothing can kill these exalted heroes. This is the part where I see Reason and Dom. I mean, Caradoc pointed out earlier that Calharmon doesn't have Razordons or Salamanders or anything to really punish this kind of blobby play. No. Yeah, I don't think anything can kill the Nergsy blob. Giant's down to about half HP. Cold and Spear Riders are finally getting engaged. They're gonna run in there, do their best to get a good charge off. Chameleon Skinks are out of ammo. There's no more ammo left at all for either side on the map. Wow, that Stream of Corruption did a lot of damage to those Cold One Spear Riders. And Pestilent Potions lowers their melee attack to 2. They are not getting a lot done, and I think that is going to be GG. Does the Lizardman really think he can win? Eh, I don't know. Cold and Spear Riders are doing their best, but I just don't know what they're going to be able to do here. Honestly, forgot the game is still going, just listen to Hubby in chat. More Cold One Spear Riders pile in, but they're getting stuck on their own brethren, so they're not really adding that much DPS, and they're all just getting Mortar Engine now. Dom is so different, we don't get blobs in Dom. That's true. There never once has been a Dom, a blob in Dom. Yeah, we have Feral Cold Ones sitting off on the side waiting for their turn to charge in, but if Cold One Spear Riders aren't getting anything done, I don't know how much Feral Cold Ones are going to get done. Pest is taking a good amount of damage, but he has plenty of healing left that he can give himself. Feral Cold Ones charge in. Nope, actually that was just Cold One Riders coming back and charging in. Giant is almost dead, though it's pretty much unbreakable, so it's going to have to die. Another Stream of Corruption. There's a lot of damage that Lizardman forces, and Festus's heal cap is coming within sight, and he's rather squishy, like he has a low health pool, so that healing cap will get filled faster than you'd think. The Exalted Heroes both still having tons of healing left that they can receive, though, is going to be a problem. Slon's in there, taking some damage. Dom Blob play. What's the safe word? Ha. But losing it, Lord, and then getting it out again in a minute is ridiculous. Yeah. Giant's routing. Festus taking some damage. Slon is still just wandering in here balls deep. And we still have a healthy Feral Cold One on the outskirts. And a healthy Feral Cold One on the inskirts, to be fair. Festus is no longer mortising. He's trying to heal himself up at the current. And something else can run the Giant off that isn't currently involved in this melee grind. Why didn't Lizardmen take Colosseum Hunters? I don't know. Nice, so the Stream of Corruption. He's got to be running out of Winds of Magic soon. Dude's been casting heals, been casting Streams of Corruption and everything. Mortis Engine is back on for Festus. Not prioritizing healing himself. Lizzie's could win still? Could. They do have Ripperdactyls. They got rid of the Giant. Festus is taking a real pounding. Without Festus, the Exalted Heroes might be killable because they don't have healing, but if they have healing, they're going to be just fine. Didn't you know dwarves are natural sprinters? Feral Cold Ones are fighting to the very end. The Cold-Blooded is keeping them in this fight for now, doing a lot of damage to El Festesso. And the Slon is even going in for a quick little cycle charge. Looks like Cold One Spear Riders are legit just going to run off the entire map, which is disappointing to say the least. Pterodon's chasing the Giant. Seems fine. And the Slon is back, fighting Festus. Now, Festus is not demonic. He actually can just rout. Which, if he routes while he's on healing elixirs, that could be good for the Lizardmen, so he's not Mortis Engineing whatever. Yep, okay, that's really good for the Lizards. So he's going to keep healing, which is, you know, it is what it is, but he's not Mortis Engineering whatever follows him off the map. So that's actually really good. So now they can chase him scot-free, which is nice. We have one Cold One Spear Rider rally, and he needs these communities to get off the map so they stop leadership debuffing him. There, his leadership's getting better now that they're off the map. So Festus, he's out of range to keep healing the Exalted Heroes. Ripperdactyls are going to chase him off. And the Exalted Heroes are getting actually really low from fighting these Feral Cold Ones. They have excellent armor-piercing values. Giant's off the map. Pterodons can come back. Exalted Heroes trying to get to the Slon. These Exalted Heroes are taking a lot of damage. We're going into minute 20. If they can kill Festus rather than let him walk off the map, that leadership spike might actually rout one of these Exalted Heroes. But it's taking him too long. It's taking him way too long to kill Festus. One of the Exalted Heroes is going to rout. Strat Game's trying to back out with him. But Cal Harmon's probably got this. These Cold and Spear Riders need to come back, though. No healing for the Lizards is strange. Yeah, the spell choice was rather strange, but he routes off one of the Exalted Heroes, and Cal Harmon immediately brings over a Pterodon just to walk it off. Ripperdactyls are also here to contribute to the fight, and the Skink cohorts are going to chase off Festus. Very interesting. And man, if that Exalted Hero, I mean, if he routes, it's literally over, because there's nothing left in the fight. But I'm so curious if it's going to do that dumb thing where it lets someone rally because of balance of power bullshit. Or like Festus will rally in the middle of these Skink cohorts, or these Pterodons won't be able to rout off this guy. It looks like Cal Harmon is walking over with this Lawn to make sure this guy doesn't rally in the middle of those Pterodons. Because sometimes it's like, if this unit is worth like 10 times the balance of power of the other unit, it can't be chased off by that unit. So I think the Lawn's over here just to like make sure, hey, you little bitch, you're running away. This guy has almost heal capped. He's getting bounced around by Ripperdactyls and Feral Cold Ones. Wood tier, that's a good Jurassic Park quote. And Festus is getting pushed off the map. That'll be it. Cal Harmon will win that game. I didn't think he could do it, but he was patient. He was very patient. And he takes it all. The Festus blob has been defeated. Festus has 2,300 value. His giants, 360 and 1,500. Exalted Heroes, 900 apiece. Skirmish Cav got caught early on. Struggled to get its value. Dogs got caught as well. Struggled to get their value. Slan, 1,800. Ripperdactyls, mixed, but overall not great. Cold and Spear Riders did okay. Chameleon Skink, 1,300 from shooting giants. Feral Cold Ones, 400, 200, 700, 350. And Skink Skirmishers, 1,000-ish apiece for shooting that giant. You didn't know 5 single entities were still allowed. It's not still allowed. It was a rule break, but there's nothing we could do about it in the game. And then the 5 single entities lost, so now it doesn't matter. Yeah. That is it. GG, well played. That went a little long, so I do have to get going to pick up Grace from the airport. Thank you all for hanging around today. Check out tomorrow, whatever time zone it is for you, probably about 2 hours before now, but tomorrow. So for me, that would be noon, and it's 2 right now. We'll be doing the Faction War Round 1 stream. I have all those replays. I can cast them for you if you feel like it. All right, I got to go to the airport to pick up Grace. Goodbye!